Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning. Got a topic that we're going to talk about today that might dig in a little bit. So we're gonna see how this thing goes and where it takes us to. But before we get started, got to say good morning, Frank Logan. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, I am fantastic. But even more important, I hope all of my people in Louisiana and in the South and in Florida, man, I pray for them that they're okay.
Exactly. They're going through a lot right now, brother. They're going through a
Yes,
lot.
sir.
Absolutely,
Yes,
absolutely.
sir. Alabama, yes, sir.
Hit hard, hit hard. Captain Leonard.
Peace and blessings,
Yes,
Morning Glow
sir.
family.
Hey, good morning, man. How you doing this morning? Everything good with you?
I'm doing fine. I'm
Okay.
always doing fine when the weather changes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. We're getting so much rain right now, man. We're getting an effect from that hurricane by way of this rain that we're getting, man. We getting plenty of rain around here.
Definitely.
Yeah, we definitely
Plenty.
getting a lot of rain. But we got a topic we're gonna talk about today, and want to hear y'all hard on it. Frank, I'm gonna start with you, and I'm asking the question: Is the truth true, or is it just your truth? Because in a lot of walks of life, man, people walk in a truth that's not really reality, and they govern their lives according to that truth, be it right or wrong. So I'm asking the question this morning: Is the truth true, or is it just your truth, or a way that you deal with certain situations in your life in and around that time? So what do you say to that, Frank?
Well, of course, there's no absolute answer to that. I mean, there's
Yeah.
some things that are just true.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's some things it's just black and white. I mean, you'll have some people that debate it. I'm a man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, period. I am a male. I'm a man. This is how I'm born. This is who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's certain things, there's certain other things that you may adopt as truth that is debatable
Mm-hmm.
depending on the definition.
Mm-hmm.
If they're actually actual, so you almost have to go to another definition to define is it actual. You can create things and call yourself things, and it's just not true. You can say that I'm a great singer, can't sing a lick. I'm an athlete, can't run. Can't play.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not true. But you can be delusional and say it is true. And I mean, I don't even have time to argue with you about what you want to accept as a truth. But there are certain things that are just truths, and then there's other things that are made up.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. And those are the things that we want to talk about today, man, because some people live in a false sense of reality, but you can't tell them that that's not their reality. That's the reality that they choose to live in. And a lot of times you can look on and say, man, mm. But then again, who are we to say? If that's where they choose to live, if that's the lane that they choose to live in, who are we to say, Frank, that they don't they do they have the right, I guess would be a better question. Do they have the right to do that? Or are they deceiving themselves?
Well, I mean, and see, once again, see, we play on words. Do we have the right? Who are these people that we're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember my oldest son, um, when he was probably 13. I began to have conversation with him about. Now he was a little older than that. He was 14. I began to have conversations with him about a career.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "So, son, what are you thinking? Where do you think life is leading you? What do you think you're going to do? What is that thing that excites you that you think you're going to live the rest of your life?" He said, "Oh, Dad, I'm going to be a professional football player." And now you say, "Do you have the right?"
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he didn't play PAL. He wasn't playing at the moment. He didn't want to play in school. You're not going to be a professional football player. You're not doing any of the things to prepare yourself. You haven't shown the skill level. So it's my obligation as his father to show him the flaw in his thinking.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't will things to happen, or just because you see the glamour of it, or you see the paycheck and say, "Oh, that's what I'm going to be." No, there's work to put in.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I'm not going to let you, especially if you're my son. Now, if you're someone who I don't have a relationship with, or you're not my responsibility, as long as what you are believing, um, and if God hasn't called me to speak to that thing, as long as what you're believing doesn't affect me, that's not my, I'm not going to get involved in that,
Mm-hmm.
because it's going to, my pastor used to always say, just put some time on it. Time is going to tell you the truth always.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Leonard, what do you say to that, man? Is the truth true? Good morning. Good morning there, Sheila. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How you guys doing today?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Coming right back to you, sister. Give me 1 second. Leonard, is the truth true, or is it just your truth? Do people sometimes live in a false sense of reality? And like we was talking about earlier, man, do we even have the right to even step in and say anything about it?
I like Frank, the last part of what Frank was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really matter to me.
Mm-hmm.
It matters based on my personal perspective on things, and I'm very much about the truth, and I will test you.
Mm-hmm.
So, one, I don't deal with people that have a problem with reality very well.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're saying things and we both test it and it just don't come out the way you thought, you're wrong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you can. There's a lot of people. The Bible says they will change a lie to the truth.
Come on.
And basically, what that is a mental disorder.
Mm-hmm.
And there are several disorders listed in a book that measure these disorders.
Mm-hmm.
So you can claim whatever you would like. If the test fails, if you can't validate it no way, then at some point either you're delusional or you're just willfully deceiving, deceptive. Some people, I believe, actually deceive themselves, and that's when we get into mental disorders.
Okay.
So you can call it what you want to. I know a lot of people have, we love to do that, change the names of things and the definition of things, and believe that they actually change when they really don't.
That's good. That's good. That's good. And we got a lot that we can pull out of both what both of y'all said. But when you start talking about the mental disorder, that's an alley that we have to actually go down before the end of this conversation as well. Sheila Strong, good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning again to all my Morning Glow Flame family. I hear Frank. Hey, Frank. Hey, Leonard. It's a blessing to be able to hear you. Hey, Kurt. Newlywed Kurt. Happy Kurt. Smiley Kurt. Happy wife. Happy life, Kurt.
Morning.
Good day. Krista,
y'all crazy.
Krista, we're asking the question this morning. Is the truth true, or is it just your truth? Do people sometimes walk in a false sense of reality and cloud what is really going on just to curve or to ease the pain of the reality of some of the situations in their life? Is the truth true, or is it just your truth? What do you say to that?
Well, I'm gonna answer it like this. My grandmama always told me there's two sides to a coin. There's your side, my side, and then the right side. And oftentimes when we're telling something that has happened to us, we're telling what we view as what we saw or what we felt or what we deemed as. So we can go back anything, like if you look at if three people look at the same event, exactly the same character, person, nothing ever changes, you would get three different perspectives almost every time. Because the way we view things are differently, and it is where the way we grow up or the things that you've seen, how you see different things. Some people might be more precise in their, like Mr. Leonard He's very precise. He's very articulate. So he's going to notice even the minuteness of things where some other person might not see those different types of things. So I really think it's all in your view. Now, truth is the truth, and the truth is thereof. You can't sugarcoat truth. You can't hide the truth. You can't change the truth. But there is a such thing as my truth, my reality, the things that I went through that you may not know anything about. So when I tell my truth,
sure, let me ask you this.
tell my,
I'm sorry, let me ask you this, because that's good. Now, what if somebody come in and I think I know where you was going, but what if somebody come in and try to infringe on that truth that you say that you're living? What if somebody try to tell you that that's not right? How do you handle that situation?
well, it's what, like I say, it's perception. It's my reality. It's the things that I went through in my life. Or like, for example, if I open up and say, you know what, my truth is, I'm gonna I'm gonna say it like this. I read on Facebook where a young man was transparent, where he talked about what happened to him when he was a little kid, and that's his truth. If someone else may come back and say, well, that's not the way it happened, but that's his truth. That's what he felt and perceived to happen to him. A lot of people that are abused physically and emotionally, a lot of people, they have their truth when they finally come out. Those that was molested or raped, by whomever. Like if it's somebody that's really prominent, hey, my truth is that this man hurt me. He hurt me and he hurt me. And then that man may come say, you know what, that's not true. I didn't touch you. So, I mean, there's only one truth. It is only one truth, whether he did it or didn't. That's the truth. But her truth is that she was hurt and she remembers that hurt as it went this way. So, a lot of times that terminology is used to describe what you went through or what you feel like. But yeah, there's only one truth though. It's only one truth of the matter. I mean, I can't, like Raheem, if I say, Raheem, your head is shiny, that's the truth. I can't change that truth. Even if you say, Christy, no, it's not. I'm like, yeah, it's showing on TV. Or your beard is gray. Hey, that's the truth. We can't. Your truth might be, you know what? It's not gray. It might be a little white. So I mean, it's only one truth.
Exactly. Curtis, what do you say to that, brother? And good morning. She threw some pot shots at me that time. But Curtis, what you say to that, man? Is the truth true, or is it just your truth? Do people sometimes try to hide away from the truth just to curb or to ease the pain of the reality?
Yo, Ryan, you got me thinking about that song. Truth is truth, whether or not you like me. We are living now in the age of Pisces. Truth is truth, man. You know what I mean? No matter who truth it is. I remember when I was in a program back in '96. I was in a program, and we was in a group session, and I was talking about the fact that like I'm not ashamed of it, man. I used to easily, man, $500 to $1,000 of heroin a day. That was a part of what my DOC was. You know what I mean? But when we was in the group and we was talking, I always understood, or I was allowed to understand the deeper cause of my getting high. At during that time, the late '80s, mid '80s, late '80s, heroin had become a fabric in the Baltimore society. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of like, back in the day when everybody went and bought a drink. So, there were certain elements around me that helped create the monster. Now I had other things going on, other traumatic experiences, but all of those things helped create. The truth was I wasn't strong enough at the time because of my adolescent mind. I wasn't strong enough to fight against the truth that was laid out there. So I fell into that game or that trap. So truth is truth. Truth is so powerful because it has two derivatives.
Mm-hmm.
Hurts and it feels good. So when you look at it like that, when I look at it like that, then I tend to understand it a little more. I tend to see through all of the red tape. But I want to say this, and I gotta say it. I said it on this show several times. I'm telling y'all, deep for something, man. Because we got a lie told to us yesterday. And the people that saying the truth is being as if that's cons. This whole thing with these unwanted hysterectomies, giving these unwanted hysterectomies to these women, specifically down there in Georgia and Texas, man, if that ain't foul, I don't know what is, man. And the truth is that historically we have the data to show that they have done this before. They have sterilized folk before, I believe, right in your town, right here in the town that you're from.
Yeah.
There's a group of women who are now elderly who have received monetary, I call them monetary donations, because you still ain't paid because that lady could have had $1 million there. I believe in your hometown, Raheem, it's a group of women in the 40s and 50s that were sterilized against their will, a group of black women. Well, I don't know if y'all been paying attention to the news. I don't know if the listeners been paying attention to the international news, not just national news, but Sheila Jackson Lee from Texas and one of the Gang of Four, they call them the Gang of Four, the ones that he told them, if you don't like the country, go back to where you came from. They literally had to go to the airport and pull a lady off of the plane.
Wow.
After the ICE was warned and told, listen, do not deport this lady. This whistleblower from Georgia has blew the whistle, and we investigated it and found out that it's been several women, but this specific woman has not been deported yet. Do not deport her. They signed the order, and then they tried to backdoor it and slide her on a commercial flight for deportation. Sheila Jackson Lee and that other female senator went to the airport and stopped the plane from taking off to pull her off. Now they got her in a detention center. I'm scared they're going to kill this lady. But the bigger point is this. The truth is, this is my truth. We done seen this before. We've seen it in the story of Moses. We've seen it in the story of Yahshua. We've seen it in the story of Joseph. They are looking for something. It's a reason why they're trying to lock up all these kids and kill all these kids, man. I'm sorry. I hate to.
You right. You right.
But I'm telling y'all, man. That devil is looking for something that is going to change the face of the world for which we exist. That's what's going to happen, bro. So when you talk about truth, I just want to throw that out there. These folks is following this lie. And I'm sorry, man. It's going to take them to hell with gasoline drawers on, wearing pink tutus and pink pumps. That's my word.
Good deal. Good deal.
Can I say something to that?
Yes, go ahead.
I want to say that with Lunchtime with Anna, we talked about that. We talked about how the forced hysterectomies are being done and how brutal and cruel that is to do to any person. So Curtis is telling the truth. Now that's a truth that I know to be true. So we have to gear up and pay attention to what's going on around the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And see, and that's the thing we're talking about. We're talking about truth. If we deal with the absolute truth, we will be able to eliminate some of these situations that we're speaking of. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
For discussion purposes, you have to realize what you're going to do about it. What are you going to do about it? It does not seem as most people, when you talk about it in conversation, a lot of people, are interested, but you're still not going to vote for these people. You're still not holding people accountable. You know what I'm saying? Part of being an activist is doing just that. You're gonna sit around and talk about it how long? When are you gonna do something about it? We still elected devils. You know what they look like.
Well, can I?
You know exactly what the devil is looking like right now.
Okay.
You know what the evidence
Yes, hold on.
is. They do nasty things. They do horrible things. They've always done these things, but somehow you still allow them to be in charge.
Okay. Curtis wanted to ask you a question, Leonard. What's on your heart, Kurt?
Hey, Leonard, I'm glad. L Dog, what's up, baby? I'm glad that you mentioned we still electing and this, that, and the third. I'm so glad you mentioned it. On C-SPAN this morning, they were asking the question of the day for the morning call was, what part of the Constitution would you amend? Leonard, you're a little more versed than I. You're a lot more versed than I on the subject matter of the establishment of government and how government is, how it's set up, right? My question to you is, can you please, for me and for the listener, explain what is the real cause or what is the real reason why judges get lifetime appointments? Because I never understood it. It's a question that I've had since high school, because I never understood why it is that a judge, unlike anybody else in government, gets a lifetime appointment, a federal judge. Have you ever like did any research on that, or can you explain that? Because to me, that's the heart, that's the kit in the caboodle. If I'm the president and I appoint 198 federal judges, I could have cases anywhere, as long as I spread them appointments out, I could have cases anywhere that these judges who are on a lifetime appointment can automatically kick my case out, dismiss it. So can you explain that, Leonard, please?
Well, there's different reasons why people, the reason why we have lifetime appointed judgment is because deep down, you really want a continuity in rules and regulations. If you constantly change these positions, you open yourself up to various interpretations, which eventually will destroy the standard. So in order to make, it's like a seniority type of thing, and you want to retain as much knowledge as possible. Now, our problem, which we've noticed, is we give that power to one man. And so we do have a process when they go into confirmation, but we do know also that is corrupt as well. We also, if you apply it and look at it in terms of term limits, a lot of folks sit and say, we should have term limits. No, you shouldn't. You should go vote. That's your term limit. You get the opportunity every 2 or 4 years or whatever, depending on the position, to elect someone.
Okay, but
Leonard, somebody out because of apathy.
You can you can't.
Supposed to be.
Okay, but Leonard, hold on for a second. Let me ask you this question based on what we say. Then we're gonna get back out a couple of callers. I want to get to the callers, and we're gonna get back to our topic itself. But I understand what you're saying, and you're absolutely right. You have the power. We have the power to vote. But once a person is elected into being a judge, a Supreme Court judge, or whatever the case, you can't vote that person out, though. that person died.
Well, no, and that's the thing about it. That's false. That's not a good thing. We're seeing that right now because if you elect an evil person, they will appoint evil people.
I got you. I see what you're doing.
Our issue, and see, a lot of in Africa, one of my goals is to help African Americans understand the importance of the Constitution.
Yeah.
You don't get to live here and get what you get because of people's good nature. That's not how America is set up. It's all about that Constitution. And so you have to constantly make sure that your Constitution is the standard that you want to uphold. And we've fallen short of the Constitution ever since it was written. So, and we're still very young as a nation, and we have to fix these things. Sometimes it takes 400 or 500 years to fix the Constitution. It's not as if, and then we're going through these changes now.
You got a point there.
So we can't just, folks have a tendency to want to change the rules every time they don't like them. Cannot do that. Do that.
And that's like Kurt says a lot of time. Kurt said a lot of time what they do is they move the goalpost. They move the goalpost back 10, 15 yards. Every time you get close to scoring, they move the goalpost.
And that's a little different. I know what you're talking about on that point of view. Like I said, but everybody trying to jump higher, you don't have a problem with that. But what you do have a problem is disenfranchised.
That's good.
That's the problem.
Good deal. Donald Toussaint, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Oh, doing well.
Welcome
back at work.
Well, I was going to say, welcome back to work, brother. Welcome back to work. Listen, we're asking the question: is the truth true, or is it just your truth? Do people try to hide behind certain situations because they don't want to deal with the truth of the matter? What do you say to that?
Everybody has their own truth.
Are they true?
Yeah, and then some people say it again.
Are they true?
To themselves.
Okay. Good.
It's their reality, their mindset. I mean, you can use anything you want to, from scripture to way of life. What a person believes, especially if they get it in their heart, you can't change it. It's their truth. Well, that's just what I think. That's just, I believe it. I mean, you can tell them. It's kind of like a colorblind person. You can't tell them that green is not red because they can't see it. They can't tell the difference because that's their reality.
That's
no
good.
matter what you try to tell me, you can't make me believe that I don't have any Indian in me. Because I'm looking at my skin color. And that's true to me. I'm a black man.
Good deal. Good deal. Christy, go ahead, Donald.
No, I'm just saying that's my reality.
Absolutely. Christy, what's on your heart?
Just like what Donald Toussaint said, however somebody looks at something, and it can be wrong as two left shoes, but if they believe it in their heart, if they believe it in their mind, that's the truth to them. And, and talking about all the stuff that's going on, you can see it represented in the administration that's in lead right now. The things that they're doing, they believe in their heart of hearts that they're right. They believe that they're not doing any wrong because they're upholding the beliefs of those that believe just like they believe. The hysterectomies and all that stuff. It's like I tell my kids, if you know something is wrong, you're going to sneak, you're going to hide, and you're going to do those things because you know it's wrong. And there's a lot of things that they are doing that they know for sure is 100% wrong. Because why would you sneak the lady on a commercial plane to try to get her out of there? Because you're wrong. And that's the truth. You don't want to face the truth because you want to face the consequences that come with the truth. And a lot of us
black, brown, white, green, are like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just remember when you were a child and you knew you was gonna get a whooping. You tried to hide, you tried to sneak, you didn't want to tell the truth, then you got caught up, you tried to lie till you couldn't lie no more, until your mama say, you know what, I already know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And you get punished, and then you learn, you know what, I just need to be honest from here on out and be straightforward.
Yeah.
So that teaching of that truth is from when you are, you know, from mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
And until we get to the understanding that when we're trying to say something that's true, it's a lot of times we don't want to face truth because we don't want to face the consequences that come with it.
Absolutely.
And that's my opinion of it. Like, you want to stay in whatever truth you in because you don't have to face the consequences of it, because you're only facing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And not the rest of people. You're just facing yourself. So if you really come out with just what's true, you have to face some serious consequences.
Exactly. Now, Frank, let me come to you with this. What if, say, a person is in a relationship and the other one person is very abusive, physically and verbally, very abusive, but they always say at the end of the abuse that, but you know, I love you though. You know, I love you. And the person that's abused is walking in that thinking that they're loved, but they're being abused in so many different ways. Is that truth?
I have a couple other things to say because I was holding so long, but just to touch on that, I don't care what you're telling me if you mistreat me. You're not going to convince me that you mistreated me is reality, and I'm supposed to accept it. And that's the one thing that I don't care who a young lady is or a young man. If you're being physically abused, you can't tell me I don't want your kind of love. If that's what love is.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I'm gonna remove myself from this situation, and then you take your reality somewhere else because I'm not going to accept your reality.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say two things. One is I want to commend the people that rescued that young lady. And we talk about going above and beyond. They had got a 72-hour stay. It was done. They had until 8 o'clock this morning to rescue her. They did all the hard work, got a judge to get him a 72-hour stay. It was supposed to be over. And they still deported this lady. They tried to sneak her out. And they followed up and got her off of that plane. They flew her, I think, from Texas to Chicago. And they got her off that plane. It was on the runway. Do you know how hard it is to get somebody off a plane that's on a runway?
Mm-hmm.
And they got her off that plane. So I want to commend them because they went above and beyond. And when we begin to talk about what we're going to do, they're the example.
Yeah.
Don't give
Sheila
up.
Jackson
That's right.
Lee, and Congresswoman Rashid Tlaib.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's the example right there of two people that didn't say that, okay, we've done it. We did all we could do and just let her go.
Mm-hmm.
They did. They went above and beyond. And then I want to say this, is that there's another word that we need to enter into this conversation. And it's a person's perspective. And that's one thing that all of us need to understand when you get married. A person's perspective is their reality.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, with my wife, when her perspective is something and she's passionate about it, even if I know she's wrong, I don't fight that perspective. I go back to the standard. That's why in everything you do. Now, when I say I go back to the standard, I don't take her to the standard and say, here, look at this. Let me show you where I'm aloof.
Mm-hmm.
I live the standard and I let her see it. And the one thing that God showed me a long time ago is that if you correct her, y'all are going to have to revisit it. If I correct her, it's going to be settled.
Mm-hmm.
So I just live the standard, let her see the standard. Whatever it is lacking, whether it's love, whether it's the way we do things as Logan, Whatever it is, I live that standard without throwing it in her face, without saying, see, this is how we do it. No, I live it.
Mm-hmm.
And then let her come to a different perspective and a different reality. And then, but okay, let me say this and I'm gonna shut up. Guess what? On the way to living the standard and showing her something different, guess what? I might find out I'm wrong.
That's good. That's good. Kurt, I know you got limited time. I know you're on your way to the job, man. So what's on your heart right now, man? Is the truth true, or is it just your truth? And let me give the demo. We have quite a few people that's actually tuning in this morning. Would love to have your input. Give us a call, 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input. We're talking about, is the truth true, or is it just your truth? Kurt, what's on your heart? Kurt, you there? Did we lose Kurt? Yeah, we lost Kurt. Let's go back to Christy. Christy, what's on your heart? Kurt, call back in if you can, brother.
You know, not too often I'm going to agree with Frank. Not too often.
Wow.
But he made a...
That's twice in 1 week, though. I've been marking them on my calendar. That's twice in 1 week. I want you to know that.
But he made a valid point. Sometimes we think that we're so right in what we're doing, and to the point that we try to force people to believe what we believe is right.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you go back and you look at some things, you may be wrong and they may be right. And we have to get to that pride set in, and the vulnerability won't set in to where we're too stubborn to admit, you know what, I was wrong about that. And you know what, you're right. And I want to go back to the question you did ask Frank, because I don't want to kind of skip over that, because that's very important. And I think people and women and men both should understand love doesn't hurt. And if he's telling you he loves you, that is a control mechanism, because there's some emotion involved.
Mm-hmm.
Love is an action word.
Yes.
And being that love is an action word, there are some characteristics in love that shows the act of love.
Mm-hmm.
And in those actions, does it say to hit, to abuse, to speak in such a manner, to call you a B or an H, or to call you all these different type of names, to be drugged by your hair, to be punched in your face, to be raped, to be molested, to do all those things are not love. That is a sick form of a control, and that person have some kind of mental illness to view that as love. And the thing is, yes, you do need to get away, but get away safely. Because one thing we know and understand, that when people are in that type of situation, just to leave is not as easy. It's easier said than done. Because you have to care about that. They hold your children hostage. They hold you hostage. They threaten your family. They threaten everything around you. So it almost seems as though it's impossible. But there are so many resources. There are so many numbers that you can call to get away, because that is not love.
Exactly.
Jealousy, not love. Just because somebody is jealous of you does not mean love. So what I'm saying, we have to change our perspective as people on what love is, because we have been less than or battered and all these different things from society. We think that this is love. Oh, if he sits here, if I talk to a guy and he comes up and he's angry, oh girl, he loves me. No, he don't. No, he don't.
Yeah.
He don't respect you and he don't love you. And we need to really find out what that true meaning. Going back to the truth, what is true love and what is the truth about love? Jesus said, I loved you so much that I died for you. You know, I gave you a chance and I died for you. That's love.
Yes.
That's the greatest love there is. So we do need to have that definition of what love is, but we do have to put our pride down and understand that we can be wrong about some things, and we can be mistaken. Not that we're trying to, you know, not that we're trying to mislead, but we might not know.
Exactly.
You know, we might have been told something that we believe or held true for so long, and now we learn that it's untrue, and we have to make sure we have pride enough to say that it's untrue.
Good deal. Good deal. Let me go to Donald. Donald, and we're gonna switch up a little bit while staying the same. You're having a conversation with somebody one day, and you're talking about the Lord. Okay. And they say, well, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in this God thing that you're talking about. And they try to convince you that God is not real, that God don't exist. And then they even go into this whole scientific thing about, they try to throw this science stuff on you. Now, Donna, your truth is you're a Christian. How do you handle that situation?
I do it every day.
Wow. Wow.
Hey, I don't, here's the only thing that I can share is what's in my heart. And the thing about the truth, because even, I forgot who was it that asked Jesus, what is truth?
Mm-hmm.
What is truth? Because he was I can't find the word, but he was sure of what he knew. His he said you almost you Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When Paul was talking to him and he was telling him the story he experienced with Christ and surety of that he was an apostle called I think
we having some difficulty with your phone line there, Donald. We're having some difficulty with your phone line a little bit.
Just because my phone's I gotta make it big phone. How about it? The guy he said you almost persuaded me to be a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that conversation with him and Paul, and I can't even think of his name. I'm biblically blank this morning, but I still know the story. I just don't know the name.
Mm-hmm.
What you're saying is, look at Saul Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Saul Agrippa. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Agrippa said, he said, look, when I was Saul, the Lord changed his name. Saul's truth was he was a Pharisee of Pharisees. And you come up talking about this Jesus, I'm going to haul you off, bound and chained, and I'm going to do you something very bad.
Mm.
That was his truth. But after he met Christ on the Damascus Road, he had another truth. That's why Jesus tells Nicodemus, you must be born again.
Mm-hmm.
Because worldly truth and godly truth is truth, but it's not reality.
Come on.
Depends on who you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So here Paul stands before Agrippa. He said, I'm so glad you gave me the opportunity to speak, because this is what happened to me. And the same one, the stone that the builders rejected became the cornerstone. And he might not have said it in that conversation, but he says, here's another truth that I've come to be convinced of. And so when he stood before this atheist, he just told him his story. That's all he could do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same thing that I'm saying to you. That's what I do. I go as far as I can go, share my heart, what I really believe, to help whoever will listen.
Mm-hmm.
And when they decide that they don't want to hear what I have to say and they reject it, I shake the dust off my feet and move on.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Then what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
It's interesting. I'm just listening because when we get to talking about people and their truths and blah, 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 there is usually conversations that, you know, they just don't appeal as well. Because one, if you had 100 people in the room
Mm-hmm.
and 100 people got a different truth, what y'all gonna get accomplished?
Mm-hmm.
What you gonna get accomplished? I mean, everybody want to do their own thing, call it their own thing. I remember one, you had male and female. Now they saying there's so many different ones. No, that's just what you do. That's just what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's just what you want to do.
Yeah.
There's no facts in it or science needed or what. That's just what you choose to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you prefer to do.
Yeah. We
don't need to go into about your identity and this, that, and the other, because when we need it, we'll get it from you.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a way to find it out. So you can enjoy whatever it is you choose to believe. But when like you say, when the rubber meets the road, guess what? It's gonna really show itself.
Exactly.
Because you I like how Christy said, well, if a person believes, we're not talking about facts and evidence.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about sometimes things that cannot be proven. And this is what people hold on to. You know, as long as you can't prove me wrong, I ain't wrong.
But Leonard, how much of a lie, you know, and like I just said, how much of a lie is tied up in that though? Because if there's no facts or evidence or anything in it, are they really just living a lie?
Well, it sometimes it just depends. You know, it just depends. But you have to take into consideration that those evidence and facts.
Mm-hmm.
And if you come up short, you just come up short. It's like in science. It's
Mm-hmm.
not that we're trying to prove or disprove something. It's to the best of our ability to predict
Mm-hmm.
what would and could happen. This is, you may rate it a certain way, like say, for instance, all the various tests with inferential statistics and things,
Mm-hmm.
where people have these different measures of the evidence once you analyze it and things.
Okay.
To say yay or nay.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said, let your yays be yays and your nays be nays. Don't trifle in between these types of things.
Mm-hmm.
If there are things that you do not feel are right, then don't do them.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
it's not we say true and truth and all this type of thing.
Does that fall into
that? You know,
does that fall into what I had some in my mind just now. I was about to say to you, but it didn't escape me, man. I'm about to come back to it, man. But it lines up with something. Hold on, before I do that, because I man, my thought just went all on my head. We have a caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Tina from Atlanta.
Hey, Tina, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, doing well, doing well. Thanks for calling in this morning, sister. Definitely appreciate you. We're asking the question: is the truth true, or is it just your truth? Do people live in some time a false sense of reality, and there's no, like Leonard said, evidence of what they're talking about, but they just feel safer there? Do people do that?
Oh yeah, people lie to themselves to make them feel better. Absolutely.
Wow.
So I think they, but in their mind, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
But they know that it's not, real. But whatever makes another person look at them in a different way, then I'm gonna go with it. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that's what I do, but I've dealt with a lot of people that does that.
Mm-hmm.
So I know they're lying. I know they're not in their truth, living their truth. But they feel that they are so bad that they really start to believe it.
Wow.
And I'm sitting there like, what? I just saw you, pandering or whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? But they are definitely thinking, believe you tell. I think if you say it long enough to yourself, that it becomes true to yourself.
But Tina, are you at that point when it becomes truth to yourself? How much of a lie are you telling to yourself? Or are you just totally just living a lie?
they're totally living a lie.
Mm-hmm.
But if you keep believing that lie, you start to believe that it's true.
Mm.
You tell the same lie so much to people or whatever, you start to believe that this is really what I'm doing. This is my really, I'm living my truth.
Okay. Now,
when other people that know your truth know that it's not.
Exactly. Now, we said something earlier at the beginning of the conversation about a mental disorder, do you think that has something to do with it? They have a mental disorder, whereas they can convince themselves that this lie is the truth, and they live there.
I think social. I wouldn't go as deep as mental illness, but I think social media messes with people mental.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to impress so bad because you think everybody else that's on there living their lives and truth is doing it. So you trying to, live up to what you see. So I think that social media plays a big part on why people act that way.
Okay.
You trying to do so much, just like you thinking everybody else doing so much when nobody's doing anything.
Yeah, exactly. Mute your line for me, sister, and I'm gonna come right back to you, Curtis. Let's talk about the mental aspect of this right here. How much of it is a mental disorder or detachment mentally if a person does this? Thought Curtis came back. Let me see. I thought he had got it back. Let's go to Frank. Frank, what's on your heart, brother? What do you say to that? How much of it is a mental disorder or a mental detachment from reality?
I want to put a different spin on this too, because I thought about this as you guys were talking. Have we ever thought about our responsibility sometimes when a person, you just look at them and say, man, why do they keep lying to me? Do they feel that if you know who they really are, or if you know their real struggle, you're going to mistreat them? Do sometimes people not feel safe in being who they are around other people? It hasn't been that many times, but I've encountered people that had struggle that, it sometimes is not on that person to share your struggle with you. It's just for you to be compassionate. But they may look and say, I remember in college, it was a guy that, in this Michigan winters here, he was wearing shorts to school every day. And it was cold, man. And people were riding him. They were so cruel that they were just laughing at him in his face. And, one day just happened to be in the restroom with this brother. And I said, hey, man, why are you wearing shorts in the winter? He said, because I don't have pants. Got together and got him some pants. He quit wearing shorts. But I'm wondering, because a lot of times God will reveal things to us about people, even the things that they're not being honest about. But he reveals those things to us for us to help them. Now, what do we do with that information once we have it?
Good deal. Now, are you is it mental detachment?
Are people mentally detached from the truth?
Yes. Do you think it could be a mental disorder that they have when they don't deal with the truth accordingly?
It can be, Raheem, but sometimes there's so much hurt behind the truth that if you begin to walk in the truth, it's so painful that, I can't stay there, especially without help.
That's true.
Imagine somebody who may have been physically abused, and if they begin to accept the truth, then all of that pain comes back. So they're in denial about these things, or they're in denial about some other things, and they just won't face the truth. Now, I'm not saying that this is the case for everybody. Some people just, do other things. But like you say, there's two sides to every coin. There are some people that have gone through some things that have scarred them. The one thing that I tell people, especially young married couples, I tell them to be careful about their words, because what you create are invisible scars. And you scar people, and you don't even have the opportunity to go back and heal those wounds because you can't see them. But you damage them with your words.
Okay, good deal, good deal. Let me do this. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning. This is Annie from Mississippi.
Hey, Annie. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Hey, doing well, doing well. And we asking the question: is your truth true, or is it just your truth? Do people sometimes try to hide behind the reality of whatever they're going through and try to mask themselves into something else? What do you say to that?
Probably, and possibly.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking, as I believe that was Frank that was talking. There are many relationships where couples, one of the, somebody in the relationship would know that the other one may be, doing something outside, and they are pretending that they don't know. I've seen recently where there was a guy that was dating another female and had children, a whole new family on the outside, but the wife refused to even see all that. So sometimes we do hide, and we know the truth. And the truth, but you know what? This is what I found out. Life has taught me to accept what it is and move on. Accept the hurt, accept the pain, especially in relationships. Accept what it is and move on, to grow from it. But it took me many, many, many years to see that. There are couples that where the woman or where the man, may be, gay, but still married. And she'll know that sign is there, because when you're, not a full masculine man, it's going to show up. It's going to show up. Something going to start, letting the world know that you're not, really into men. Into women, you're into men. Something's it's going to show sooner or later. And many times we will try to, pretend it's not there. And no matter what people tell us, we can't see it. I don't know if it's because we're too close to the mirror to see it, or if we just see it and don't want to admit it. I don't know.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. That's a part of a reality, man, that people really need to deal with. Leonard, what's on your heart? And after you, I got to play this commercial, man. I got to run this commercial at actually, let me run it right now. But we have to really get to a place where we can actually be able to deal with the realities in our life. And sometimes sometimes it is going to hurt to deal with. There's certain realities are going to hurt. But if you ignore them and try to mask them and pretend like they don't exist, that doesn't make them go away. That doesn't make them go away at all. Let me run this. I got to run this spot real quick. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me see. Where is it here? I had it. There we go.
I'm looking to buy my first home.
Welcome to Home Solution Providers, where you can participate in our first-time home buyer program. In our first-time home buyer program, we can help you qualify for a mortgage with a preferred lender, participate in our financial education and growth program, work with a preferred realtor to help you find the house of your dreams, and assist you with closing costs, and much more. Just contact 678-489-7531. Home Solution Providers, 678-489-7531.
Thank you.
Home Solution Providers, 678-489-7531. www.homesolutionproviders.org.
Good deal. Now, Leonard, what do you say to that, man? Yes, the truth sometimes hurt, but if you try to ignore or mask the pain, that does not allow or enable it to go away. What do you say to that?
It just depends on what it is and who it is. Because one, I'm a real truth type of person. I don't care what it feels like. It is what it is. You can fix it. You can really get in and do deep work on yourself if you desire to do it. But what I believe is that, one, you have a responsibility to take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
First, I mean, that individual responsibility comes before everything else. If you need help, you have to get it. If you keep running into, I tell people all the time, you say it was a good choice and that's what you want to do and this is who you are, but you crying every night about it.
Mm.
You sitting around hoping something and doing something that's really destroying you. My mother used to say about domestic violence to every woman she talked to, you'd be better off trying, if you ain't gonna leave, you need to find out what it is about that whipping you enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Because there ain't no other reason you're gonna show up on time for no whipping.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who does that?
Exactly.
See, so we have to realize that your truth could be your illness, and if you want to keep it, keep it. I've told you before, Raheem, everybody don't want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people tie everybody else up and mess up other people's lives messing with their foolishness. Mm-hmm. That's why me and Donald have a lot in common. I ain't got time to judge you and do all this to you if I'm working on me.
Mm-hmm.
The people who deal with me, they'll let you know. I crossed him. Now he don't fool with me no more.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Because I'm just not dealing with you and your foolishness.
Mm-hmm. Your mess.
I don't care what you believe or how
Mm-hmm.
true you think it is. Keep all that away from me because I'm not interested.
Absolutely. Tina, what's on your heart?
Sorry.
I said, what's on your heart right now about yeah.
I like everything that everybody is saying, and it's true about relationships. The last caller said, a lot of times we see the truth, but we choose not to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just to keep your relationship, going and solid. So you'll choose not to see everything that is right there in your face. And so I think a lot of times that's the same with life in itself. Like I said, you see a lot of things on social media and you feel like you should live up to that. So you start making up your own truth or
Mm-hmm.
own lies. And people around you who really know you're lying, but you still go with it and you start to believe it yourself.
Wow.
And at that point, you start, spending more money trying to keep it up or buying nice cars, houses just to make it look like this is what I'm doing, and you in debt over there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, a lot of people do that.
Exactly. And wow. That's you put so much out there, man. Let me go to Christy. Christy, what's on your heart right now, sis?
It's amazing how everyone, like you said, you can believe something is true. I know everybody watched Maury Povich, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how they try to beat the lie detector test.
Yes.
And so it's so funny that, we believe that we can beat those lie detector tests. But one way to beat it is for you to believe the lie is the truth.
Mm-hmm.
If you believe that your lie, if you keep telling the lie over and over and over again and you believe it, it becomes your truth. But it's still a lie.
Mm-hmm.
And so many times we are faced with believing those truths as lies. And you got some people that lie to make you believe the truth and try to force you to believe they lie and get mad because you don't believe the lie. Mm-hmm. You can see things apparently for yourself and know what's true and what's false. And that has been done to us for generations to generation. It says they want you want to hide anything, put it in a book because the N-word won't read it. Mm-hmm. And if you put it in writing in a book, they definitely won't understand it. So I'm like Leonard, you keep on voting for these evil people to be in office, then you're going to get evil results. So again, I love what all the panel is saying, and it's bringing light on what is true and what is false, and what you believe and what you hold true. Exactly. With Agrippa and Paul, like Donald Tucson was talking about, you almost convinced me That's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
So you almost convinced me.
Almost, exactly.
Not that you did, but you almost.
That's good.
And in your conversation through people, you almost convinced me that 45 wasn't for me. For those of us believe, those that are black, brown, that believe that 45 is for them because of some guns. If you look a little closer, you will see the truth of who he is.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Tucson, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Yeah, this is pretty thick right here. I'm telling you.
Yes, sir.
Two realities. God is real, and so is the devil.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about the previous slide.
Donald, let's stay right there. Let's stay right there for a second, brother. Don't mean to cut you off, but let's stay right there because I've run into people and they believe in God, but they don't believe in the existence of the devil. What I mean, I'm sure you probably seen the same thing. What I mean, what do you say to these people?
Here's the cream of the crop. Adam and Eve is in the garden. I'm sorry, Leonard. I have to go there. Is that okay, Leonard?
Yeah, well, for conversation's sake, yeah.
For conversation's sake. That's my truth.
Yeah.
Anyway, in the day you eat of this fruit, this tree, you shall surely die. And Eve ate, Adam ate, and they kept walking around. Is that true?
Yeah.
Is it true?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or is it their truth?
I believe
because
that.
Are they here? Are they dead? Did they die?
Well, see, a lot of in that interpretation, they didn't die at that particular moment on the physical. On the physical, on the physical, they did not die. But there's other elements out there other than just the physical. What about their connection? What about what about their spiritual? Did they die spiritually? Let me go to Frank. Frank, what do you go ahead?
Well, can I keep on for
absolutely,
a minute? Because I was heading somewhere else.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
You know where they're at? What's their address? So wait a minute. Let me say something else. I was saying something else. Jesus, there was questioning Jesus when is the end coming? I think it was something like that. When shall the kingdom of heaven come? And he started telling them about things that would happen. And just like Noah, the time of Noah, and they entered in the ark, and the time of Sodom and Gomorrah, people were married and given into marriage. And he said one amazing thing, 3 words. He said, remember Lot's wife. Now, God told Lot and all of them, he said, don't turn around. Don't turn around. But her truth was, whatever it was that caused her to turn around, he reminded them that the evidence is still there. Somebody can find Lot's wife. And that's a memorial to when he tells you to do something or tells you not to do something, even in the garden, you can either do it or not.
Exactly. So, that's good. Let's go to Frank, and after that we're going to Annie. What's on your heart, Frank?
The thing that is, I think, the most frustrating right now, and understand that I am the person that understands that God is still in control, regardless of what man does. The thing that is frustrating right now is that the fact that this president was placed in office at a very corrupt time, where you can have people to do things so evil that they could put a man in the White House. Okay, and now he's there. And then you can have people that will break laws. I mean, and just do heinous things and not be held accountable, even though a lot of people went to jail.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, this morning, what we should be talking about are all of those agents that put that woman on that plane being arrested at the airport because they did things where there was a court order not to do it, and they did it anyway. And those are the people, you know, we may focus on what Donald Trump is doing, but a lot of these things that are being done have been being done forever. Forever. And we have to, we have to get behind the people that are doing the work and get these people prosecuted. That's the only thing that they understand. When they start going to jail and losing money and being exposed, and we need to be right now really going after law and all of these people and calling them for what they are. These racists, these are terrorists. And all of their organizations, these are hate crimes. Putting kids on concrete in cages. Even right here in Flint, where you poison the water. How's this man free still in Michigan? They can't. That's the thing we have to stop doing. We have to stop allowing these people to do these things and just walk away like they've done nothing. How do you do what they've done to these women, man? That's the death penalty. Where you're castrating women. Come on, Raheem.
Yeah.
We should be outraged this morning. Outraged.
But with so many things going on and so many things happening in this day and time, Frank, have we became unwillingly numb to it? Well,
we're not numb. We're not numb. You know what we've shown over the last 30 years? We're lazy. We're comfortable. We showed everybody what our focus is.
Or weak, Frank, or weak.
Oh, absolutely. The scripture says that. Scripture tells us that the harvest is plenty. And it says, but the laborers are few. That word few in the Greek means puny. That word puny means weak. We're weak. We're not our fathers and grandfathers. We're not.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let somebody else talk. I believe it was in Georgia when that lady climbed that flagpole to take down that Confederate flag. That broke my heart. That broke my heart. Because to me, where are we at as men? That a woman had to take that stand. And I'm not taking anything away from my sisters that are doing a tremendous work. But the fact that she had to go up that flagpole, and there's so many things, man, that
let me tell you something, Frank. I didn't get to bed last night. This morning, I guess you would say until like 12:30, because I messed around. I turned to HBO, and that movie about Harriet Tubman was on, and I watched that movie, and I watched it, man, and I kept, and my wife was actually upstairs, and I was downstairs, and I called her. I said, "Baby, come here." She came downstairs. I said, "You will like this movie," and we sit there, and we both sit there, man, and I kept looking at her. Baby, we're gonna finish this tomorrow. And she didn't move, and I didn't move. And we sit there until the movie was off. Harriet, and they told the story about how everything that she went through and how she led the people and the resistance that she got along the way before she was successful the first time. She came into some resistance. But when she became successful the first time, and they just told how many people that she actually brought to freedom. women have been doing this thing for a long time, Frank.
Yes, sir.
They've been doing
Right,
this
right
thing.
here.
Yeah.
Right here with Rosa Parks.
Mm-hmm.
Rosa Parks took that stand. Why? Because she was just tired.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
She was just tired.
Mm-hmm. So, even though, men, and I'm a man and love my brothers as well, but at the same time, thank God for the women that are willing to stand up and,
absolutely.
and make
Absolutely.
that difference. Thank God
I
for
agree.
the women,
Yeah.
man, because
I agree.
sometimes we don't. Annie, what's on your heart?
Yeah, that's awesome. Women have always, when a woman has her mind made up and when she's determined, she's going to get it done. So, I totally agree with you. I just want to say, many times people, getting back to the question, many times people with the topic rather, many times people will become comfortable with the lie because, let me give you an example, first of all. My brother-in-law, before he passed away a few years ago, he was gay. And my sister, no matter what we told her, no matter what we tried to show her, she refused to see it. And later on in life, as he began to get sick and all this other stuff, and later on he told her that he were, and we was like, how could you not have seen that for 30 years? For 30 years that you guys were married. Mm-hmm. But I believe people become so comfortable in that shell, in that box. Like for example, also like the current president. I mean, you got people out here today that will fight, that will go up against you and say the things that we know he's done, he didn't do. Mm-hmm. And when the media say what he say, it sounds so dumb because he'll say it, then they'll turn around and repeat it back to him. And it sounds crazy that he said fake news. People have become comfortable with the lie because because the truth hurts more than a lie. So rather than expose me and have me, looking all crazy, I have become comfortable living a lie.
Mm. Wow. Christy, what's on your heart? And that's true, man. People get comfortable in that place. They get comfortable in that place. And to me, that's kind of scary. That's kind of scary reality. Christy, what's on your heart? Christy, you there? Oh, we just lost Christy. Just lost her. Leonard, talk to me, brother.
Excuse me. Which one are we talking about right now?
Let's talk. And I know Leonard, you know where
I stand on those issues, man.
I know. That's why I know.
I'm this way.
Mm-hmm.
I believe people should do and act in their own choice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a very paternalistic type of approach to these types of things. Women are just as intelligent in everything as men. Yeah.
There you go.
Now, women fall out with me because once they realize, if I expect you to do everything that I would do, since you made that point. So you walk around here with your chest stuck out, I'm walking out here with mine stuck out. So eventually we may bump the heads on certain things. But what I will never do is talk about what you shouldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you choose to do, go ahead and do. Whatever you think you're big and bad enough to do, try it.
Mm-hmm.
And if it don't work for you, it don't work for you.
Mm-hmm.
I learn a lot from other people's mistakes. See, I can watch you do something and learn from that. I'm a lot of times a matter of fact, I'm very put off by men who they'll say little things to you off on the side. So I guess how racist white people have conversations amongst themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we need some male leadership. What's the difference?
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference? If you can explain it, I'm a rational person. I'll understand if you can explain it, but no one can ever explain it. It's just a bunch of ignorant stuff like white racists are ignorant. You just say what you feel and you hope everybody go along with it so you can maintain power and control and subordinate someone. You just want to be on top. That's what you want to do. You just want to be on top. I grew up believing that women were so much better than men. But you know what I found out? They're not.
Mm-hmm.
They're no more honest than men. They're no more trustworthy than men or anything. Now, when we fighting for equal what? Equal what?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to do all these things and show you all these courtesies? Or do you prefer to not have these courtesies shown to you?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So, and every woman is different. Every woman's situation is different. My wife, she acts like she can't take out no trash.
Mm-hmm.
She can't cut no grass. She didn't do nothing. She tried to get away without pumping gas if she can.
Mm-hmm.
That's just who she is.
Yeah.
I waste my time. I ain't gonna be sitting here trying to open the door for you if you don't beat me to the door.
Mm-hmm.
See, I tell a woman, if you want a door open for you, you need to learn how to wait, and it'll be open for you. But ain't nothing wrong with grabbing that door yourself.
But see now, Leonard. Now hold on, Leonard. Now you sitting here saying, if you have and now hold on, you gonna tell us
he rolled out of bed. He rolled out of bed like this, man. I'm telling you.
Pray for me, pray, because I would love to lay down that sword and shield. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
But it's too much mess out here,
mm-hmm.
and people will put all that mess on you and try to get you to do this. And man, I ain't got time for that. Stay away from me if you ain't got nothing good, if you ain't positive or whatever.
But
if it's just a start,
hold on, Leonard.
And we will fight.
Hey, Leonard, but hold on. Let me say this. Hold on, Frank. Let me say this right here. My thing is this. My thing with what you just said, Leonard. Now, you woman, she standing at the door, want you to open the door for her, and you said, hold on, let me finish eating this sandwich. I'll open it as soon as I finish eating this sandwich. Man, come on, man.
That don't make sense. That makes sense to you?
Man, put that doggone sandwich down, go open that door, man. The sandwich ain't going nowhere, man.
I'm saying, but I'm just saying, we have to think about why we're doing things.
I understand, man.
And, sometimes we get into arguments about stuff that we don't need to argue about.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead,
let me touch this. Let me touch this for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I
gotta go
when
to
I married
too.
my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but when I married my wife, and I went to the first family function, I was blown away by how many women were in her family. Her how many sisters her mom had, and just it was just women everywhere. I was like, my God, there's a lot of women in this family. But then I began to see how they flowed. The majority of them weren't married.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm observing this because I'm trying to figure out what traits my wife is going to take on out of this family. And I began to see that a lot of the women were very aggressive. I was like, okay, that's not my wife, but that could be an issue. Let me keep watching this. But it wasn't until one of her aunts pulled me aside and tried to have the conversation with me that I had with my wife's
mm-hmm.
dad. And she tried to pull me over and tell me what I wasn't going to do. And what the issue was, they hadn't been around real men. I noticed the majority of the men that were there were very passive. And they were comfortable. They were very comfortable in their role. They had taken a subordinate role in the relationships in this family. So for 5 years after I married my wife, I had to fight against that because they would begin to try to step into my role as the head, and I had to put them back in place. Now, what am I saying? The thing that I found out later was they did this out of necessity.
Mm-hmm.
Because there were men coming in and out of their lives that weren't doing the things that men were supposed to do. Now, that's not their fault. I don't know if this is true or not. I heard this. I don't know if it was true, but I heard it, and it could be a total lie. But when I thought about it, I was like, oh my God, if that's true, that's amazing. I heard that giraffes weren't always as tall as they are. But what happened is that the food that they ate,
the foliage,
were so high in the trees that they adjusted. And that's what a lot of our sisters has done because of necessity. They haven't adjusted to survive. And I ain't mad at them for that.
Exactly.
So I think that if we do what we're supposed to be doing, you will have less over a period of time, because it didn't happen overnight. It's not going to change overnight.
Good deal.
And you will begin to see the households come back to where they should be.
Now I got it. I'm going to go to Annie. Annie, you're still with us? You still with us, Annie? Annie, you there? Did we lose Annie? Because I'm trying to protect you here, Frank. Hold on for a second. Okay, yeah, we lost. Yeah, Annie, if you get an opportunity to give us a call back, we lost Annie. But I need you to do something though, Frank. I need you to clarify something for us, because I don't want the emails. And if they want to send it to Frank, send it to Frank Logan.
Send them to me. Send them to me. Send them to me today. Send them to me today. I got you, Frank.
Now the emails on what? The emails on what?
I know what you're gonna say.
Because when you said in your verbiage, you said we had to put them. I had to put them back in their place. Now, when you say that, you say that to a woman.
Ask me, I'll clarify it.
That's what I'm asking you right now. I want you to, because I don't want the email. I want you to.
That's easy. I'll clarify it.
Okay.
We all have a place. I know mine. My wife knows her. My wife is like 4 feet away from me.
Exactly.
We all have a place. I know my place. She needs to know her place. Now, when you have an issue with that, you take that up with Jesus, because the order of things were set way before me. So this isn't something that I created. This is one of those truths. So you can be mad at me. That's okay. That's not going to change the way things are.
Some of them steaming right now, brother. Some of them steaming. As a matter of fact,
that's okay.
I wrote an essay about it, and it was right. I think it was written. The title was Elect, about being in your place, because so many people so many women have this reaction to that. I know my place. I know my place.
Glory to
You
God.
can be whoever you want. You can be whatever you claim to be. I can demonstrate my place to you.
678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. 678.
I'm going to show you exactly
381
what being a man is about.
1973.
But you know what, Raheem, too? Yes. You know what also? I'm gonna tell you this. You want to see a man lose his woman? Be less than a man.
Be less than a man and see what happens.
Be less than a man, and you're gonna find not your woman. I'm not saying your woman.
Yeah.
A man will find the woman that he's with somebody else. Because a man don't want you to be less than a man. Women are attracted to men.
678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. Ladies, I know y'all out there. Give us a call. What y'all say about that? I want to hear y'all heart on this. Donna Tucson, what's on your heart, brother? Donna choking over there.
Something wrong with y'all? Something wrong?
Donna, are you backing up? Are you backing up, man? Are you sitting on the porch?
Listen. I thought about. Can I say what I want to say? It's gonna be kind of out there, and you're gonna say, "Go in the car," and you're not gonna come back no more this week.
Go ahead on, say it. Say it. Be careful now. I'm gonna give you email. I'm gonna give you email.
But I will go there.
I'm gonna give you your email address. I'm gonna give you your email address. Go ahead.
I want to write this book.
You
know the title?
What's that?
Y'all have to excuse me. I'm gonna have to mute out after I say this, probably, because I'm trying to prepare myself because y'all not ready for what I'm finna do.
Donald, don't say it. Don't say it, Donald.
Hey,
You gave too
yo.
many disclaimers.
Hey, look at
Do
y'all.
not say it.
Y'all get the corner ready.
No.
No. Get that
He
corner
might
ready.
go. He might go further in the corner if he says what he about to say. If he just stops himself, he was calling and said the corner might not be where he kept. Don't say it, Donald.
Come on. Look,
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Go ahead, Donald. Go ahead,
I
Donald.
want to write this book. Says she's got balls.
Ooh.
I love it. I love that. All right.
Hey, y'all over there. Go ahead on. Go. Yeah. Get it ready. Yeah. We got one coming up. Hey, we got one coming over there. Go ahead, Donald. Go ahead, Donald. We're getting the corner ready for you.
I mean, see, because here's the thing. I don't have a problem.
We're talking about basketballs, baseballs. We're talking about soccer balls. What are we talking about?
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. No, sir.
Frank, I try to get him
I'm
out,
talking
Frank.
about the things that make a bow up and flex up and be equal like we are. Until you need a man.
Uh-oh. Hold on, Donald. Hold on 1 second.
Preach, Pastor. Preach, preacher. Preach.
Go ahead, Annie. I knew you was gonna call back in, sister. Go ahead.
I'm with you when you're right. Preach, preacher.
No. I want to give you guys an example of something. I want to ask you guys opinion about something.
Mm-hmm.
So let me take you off my Bluetooth. Hold on a second. Hold on one moment.
Okay.
I'm gonna lose you if I don't take you off.
And we got the cheerleading corner over there with Leonard in it. I don't know what Leonard's trying to do this morning. Frank, what's wrong with your brother, man? We in the cheerleading corner over there, man. What's really going on? Frank?
Okay, right. You there?
Yes, we here.
Okay, all right.
I'm here also, Raheem.
Okay. Go ahead, Annie.
Okay, I can wait for Frank. I can wait. I'll go behind Frank.
No. Go ahead, Annie. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to tell you guys something. Now, this may be a little bit off topic, but hey, you know how I always waver anyway.
Lord, my Jesus.
Okay. You know what, Raheem? Watch it, okay? Yeah, anyway, last week, week before last, actually, I was so very hurt by what I thought was and some kind of friendship. Someone had this lady. I don't have friends. I try not to be, friends with any female because I've been hurt before like that. But this lady that I thought was...
I'm not going to let you keep saying that. I'm not going to let you keep saying you don't have friends because that hurts my feelings every time you say that.
I forgot about y'all. I'm sorry.
I just want you to know. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let me tell you how much of a friend that I were. She had fourth stage cancer, third stage, fourth stage. I'm not sure, but it was up there, and she didn't have any insurance. Well, I put her on my insurance, and I paid all the things on my own because she didn't have anything going at the present moment. She lost her job, but so about 2 weeks ago, I found some things out about this lady that was so very hurtful, and it hurt me to my heart because we were both in church. I thought she was a straight up person. We talked maybe 4 or 5 times a year. Her kids and my kids were, they graduated around the same time, and it was just hurtful to me to know the things that she was saying about me behind my back. And God had showed me her to me a while back, but I had, you know how you kind of ignore things and you just keep on, thinking that she was a friend. But this woman was nothing but a straight up snake, and it was very hurtful to me. And I sit down and I'm like, I was so stupid. How could I have been so dumb? I mean, I paid all this money for her to have insurance, all the things I've done, all the things that I was a friend, and I never want people to get that close to me. But I just felt so crazy. I really, really did, because this lady was nothing but a snake. I mean, a straight up evil person. And all I done was show love. All I done was show love. But to me, that was very hurtful. And I guess I was, in a way, hiding behind the truth as well. I mean, a lot as well. I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this question, Annie. Why did you do it?
Because I thought that she was a person that was down on their luck. And I'm like, well, I talked my husband into letting me put her on our insurance.
Okay, so you did it out of love.
It's love, but you look at it from a different angle. It could have been out of ignorance too. I don't know, Rodney.
Okay.
I don't know.
But when you did it, that's fine. But when you did it out of love. And somewhere I read where it says that love never fails. And because you're loving, that don't always mean that the person that you're loving is going to love you back. But that don't mean that you have to stop being loving. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you to put yourself in a position or situation where people could take advantage of you or use you. I'm not gonna tell you that. I'm not gonna tell you that at all. But at the same time, don't stop being. If God made you a loving person, a caring person, don't give the devil that victory in taking that away from you. Don't give him the victory. Because if you stop doing what it is that God has poured into you, you to me, I think you kind of put a notch. And we're not trying to do that.
I understand that, but sometimes I want to be as dirty as people are to me.
You can't.
And I told God, you know what, God, I'm tired of being the one that's always on the giving all the time.
You can't.
I want to do to people sometimes what they do to me. I really do.
Let me ask you this question. Now, I was told a long time ago, never ask a lady her age, so I'm certainly not gonna ask you your age, but you've been living long enough that this has happened a time and time again, because you say you're frustrated in that I want to do to them what they do to me. Why at this age, in this stage in your life, you've never done that? The reason why, because that's not who you are. That's not who you are.
I know, Raheem. I know. Okay. I know, but I promise you, one day,
no, you're not.
I just ask God to give me one day to just go crazy on people.
So,
because I want to do the damn and show them how it feels to be.
Can I be totally honest with you?
I want to do it so badly, and I was going to call it.
Annie, let me say this to you.
What?
Can I be totally honest with you?
What?
That sounds so crazy. Yes. That sounds so crazy, because what you said to me right now is you asked God.
Crazy. It's like I'm tired.
I understand that, but listen what you're asking though. Listen at the question that you're asking. You're asking God to give you one day where you can go out there and do any sin that you want to do. You think He's gonna do that? When you ask him, to take the day off?
I'm talking about go off on people. I'm talking about go off on people. I'm talking about tell people exactly how I feel. Because let me tell you one thing. Sometimes people will think your meekness is a weakness. And I don't ever want anybody to ever call me weak ever. Yeah. Because that's not who I am. But I just want people to see how it feels to be treated so horribly. That's what I want. And I know God would never allow me.
But my thing is this, I'm gonna ask the question, or sometimes in order to be weak in situations, because it's easy to fly off on somebody. It's easy to knock somebody upside the head. Sometimes it takes a certain amount of strength to be weak, or to appear to be weak. You're not weak, but it takes a certain amount of strength so you don't knock this person out. We got another caller, Frank. So go ahead. What's on your heart, brother? Real quickly.
Hey, Annie, I want to say this to you. I think that you need to take a season where you step away from benevolence, because the thing from giving, you need to just step back for a minute, and the thing that you're going to have to come to with this place is that as you do unto God, because see, you're going to have a ceiling with man. And once you reach that ceiling, what you're going to hit is frustration. But when you get to the place anytime that I give, anytime that I tithe, anytime that I do it unto God. And then what that does is I have no expectation of man. Because see, then we have to question our why. Why did we do this? And our answer always has to be because he first loved me. That always has to be our answer. It can't be for favor of man because they're going to treat us right, because we have an expectation of people. It can never be that, or we're always going to be let down. So everything we do, you need to do unto God, and then you need to put a pause in the things that you do, because it can happen. Periodically God can tell you to move, but you got to ask yourself, did God ever tell you to do that? He may have never told you, a person that you only talk to 4 times a year, he may have not told you to put that person on your insurance. And that's why we have the outcome that we have. So you just need to back off for a minute and be okay with it. Because you find yourself in a situation. And if you're not careful, you're going to find yourself in a couple of months in the same situation. It's like I used to date the same kind of women.
Right.
And wonder why I used to have, these dramas, because I kept picking the same thing.
Good deal. Good deal. Let me get to this caller. I don't know who to call. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
I guess you talking about me. This is Rico from Anderson.
Rico, what's going on, man?
What's happening, man?
Hey, doing good. Asking the question this morning, Rico: is the truth true, or just your truth? Hide behind the truth. With the
truth, always somebody else. Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought somebody was saying something. I'm mainly calling in, man. I heard the question this morning, and then I decided to go ahead and do my live.
Okay.
And because I was like, man, I don't even know how to address that for real. So I did my live. I went in a certain direction, and the direction I went in is exactly what Anna just finished talking about. It's a storm going on. Y'all ain't talking to the normal Rico right now. Y'all ain't talking to the peaceful Rico that want to unite everybody.
Okay.
Y'all talking to the Rico that want to say what the truth is. And so this is what she was saying. It's certain things I look for in truth that define the truth for me. Righteousness and consistency. Because consistent, if you're not consistent, you know what I'm saying, the truth and we can ask how does the truth work in other people, but we have to ask ourselves, how do we exemplify the truth? Because everybody tells a lie. See, now let's take it that route. It's a loud lie. When you tell it and you know you didn't stand on your word. See, that's another thing I believe I associate with the truth. Your word is bond. If your word ain't bond, then that means, you know what I'm saying, the truth is going to be not even 50-50. So I look at that, man, and I'm just like Andy, man. I swear my whole life is exactly what she just said. I don't have any friends. I don't look for any friends. I don't ask for any friends. I don't ask for no support, no encouragement, no flattery. But if you invite yourself to me and choose to get to know me, I expect you to be a truthful person, because I let you know from the top that's what I want. Like I said, I just went through that and just ran it. Some people gonna be like, look, this ain't you. You need to take that down. You just talked about committing crimes. You just talk about hurting your own people. But the truth is, that's what I felt. It might not have been right, but that was my truth. That's how I felt. I've been holding it in. You know, and so I'm feeling like Andy. I don't have any friends. I hear people say things. I hear people say words. Words ain't number sound that come out of your mouth. But the truth is that actions don't speak for 99% of the people that say this and that. And it ain't even got to do with just being friends or calling your family or saying they support you or just, you know, saying what they did, you know what I'm saying, in their past or what they plan on doing. I can remember in the past when I was young, I had my dad on a ghost. And he'd tell me every weekend he was going to come get me. Every weekend. And I'm going to say one weekend he used to always be alive. Sometimes my grandma and granddad had to send a cab to me. And I get down another way he lived, and then he'd come in the door and walk right back out, still doing what he's doing. Then Kelly, I seen that he lied or nothing. So, you know, it's like the truth, man, the truth, it is the truth, and I guess each person's delusion, but the main question should be, you know what I'm saying, what is a lie?
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, it should be that.
Good deal, good deal. Frank, what do you want to say to that?
You know, right now, I don't know if you've ever been in a trauma center or emergency room where something tragic has just happened. And you have to be careful when you come in because a lot of tension.
Mm-hmm.
And if you say the wrong thing, man, that room is going to explode. That room's going to explode because people are trying to figure out how they're looking for a release. The word, and this is a crazy time because scripture tells us, hope deferred makes the heart weak. When you continue to hope for things to get better, or you continue to hope people to change, you continue to have faith in people and they let you down, and it doesn't get better. God even knew, it says it makes the heart weak. And you take that along with what we're dealing with. Most of our outlets have been cut off. You know, the things that we used to do just to have a release, if it's just to go to a 5-star restaurant and have dinner, or just to go to a park. Situation. I think Rico's in Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
We got people in Florida, in Louisiana, all of the natural disasters that people are dealing with, the economy. It's hard right now. So the only thing that I can say in this moment is, man will, you're right, man will absolutely let you down. And this is the time that we have to really stand still and just trust God.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know the outcome of allowing those frustrations to just explode. Most of us have been there before. We've done that. And all that's going to do is get you in trouble. I don't care who you are. If you're a man or a woman, put you in a position. So these are times that we really have to just dig deep inside of us. And thank you, Jesus. The Word of God chronicled times where it said that Jesus had to encourage himself. And a lot of times we get there when the only thing that we have are ourselves,
mm-hmm.
but we always have God. We always have the encourager. We always have that. So, man, I don't know who will pray at the end of the 9:59 hour, but we need to be covering our brothers and sisters right now, man, because it's tough. These are tough times. And you talked about, Raheem, you brought this topic up about the truth. And one thing that I brought in is a person's perspective. And you can't discount how, when I say you, I'm not talking about you, Raheem,
Absolutely.
but nobody can discount, especially right now,
mm-hmm.
how people feel, because it's tough.
Good deal. Good deal. Let me go to the phone line. I think we have Bishop. Bishop, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here. How you doing?
Hey, doing good, sir. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing pretty good.
Now, I need to ask you the question, brother. Is the truth true, or is it just your truth? How often do people hide behind a lie and conceal it and try to conceal the truth of what they're really going through?
The truth is the truth. It's being told truthfully. People have a tendency of not wanting to be honest when it comes down to things that they're going through, because they don't want people to know all of their business.
Mm-hmm.
So they put on a mask and they wear it just to keep from wearing a frown. But if you're going to tell the truth, and if you look deep into it, you can tell whether or not a person is hurt or whether or not they're being truthful about what they're going through or what they want you to know about them.
Now, you remember Minister Smokey Robinson had a song, "The Tears of a Clown."
Yeah.
The tears of a clown.
Yeah.
He cries when no one else is around. The tears of a clown. That's something.
Right.
Yes, sir.
I remember the song. I remember the song very well.
Mm-hmm.
And that is so true. I mean, when we go through things, we really wish we could share with someone, but we don't want to be judged. We don't want to be criticized. And instead of a person, if I'm going through something, and I don't need to be reprimanded and telling me that I'm weak. I don't need anybody to tell me that I'm sorry. I need for someone to understand and give words of encouragement, which is what Frank does 99% of the time when he's on the conversation with us. He's reaching out, trying to give encouragement. And I appreciate that, every time I hear him talking, he wants to bring people that he hears what you're going through and he tries to bring you back around to a positive side. So we just have to be real to who we are. And that's just it.
Tears of a Clown. And Leonard, I'm going to come to you. I think that was Leonard just said something, but let me read a little bit of here. I'm gonna read the beginning of this song, "The Tears of a Clown." Oh, yeah. Now, if there's a smile on my face, it's only there trying to fool the public. But when it comes down to fooling you, oh, honey, that's quite a different subject. If there's a smile on my face, it's just to fool the public. How many people are living that lie? Leonard, what's on your? I think there was Leonard just said something, and then we're gonna got another caller. We're gonna go to the caller. So, what's on your heart, Leonard?
Right. It was something crazy, right?
Oh Lord. Okay, let me go to Cassandra.
So
You about to act up? You about to act up?
I didn't know. When did Smokey Robinson start preaching? I didn't know.
Oh, that's Minister Robinson, man. You don't know Minister Robinson?
You said
help your brother, man. Help your brother, Leonard. Help you.
I didn't know Smokey was preaching, and I thought, is he trying to say Smokey Norfolk?
No, Smokey Bill Robinson, man. You know Smokey Bill Robinson. Smokey Bill, William Robinson. You know, preacher.
Okay, I didn't know.
Boy, you something, man. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing? Cassandra, you there?
Morning.
Good morning. How you doing, young lady?
I'm sorry, Raheem, I didn't hear you.
I say good morning. How you doing, young lady?
I'm doing well.
Asking the question today, is the truth true or is just your truth? How many people, Cassandra, put on that fake face, smile and everything is okay, but inside they're torn up. They don't know whether they're going to make it from second to second, much less minute to minute. What do you say to that? Cassandra?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I said just hearing that, what you just said, makes me tear up because it's so many people that wear this mask, on a daily basis, and they're miserable. Like, let me just give you an example. I have a person that I'm talking to, right? And her husband, he doesn't acknowledge her at all. It's like they just living under the same roof. He barely talks to her. They don't do anything together. They don't spend any time together. They barely have, since y'all don't want me to talk. They barely have, and when she talks about him, and we can say this is her face talking, but she said, "Oh, me and my husband, we are so close. We have this wonderful," and I guess that's what she wants, so she keeps saying it. And then she talks about how depressed she is to me and how she just wish he would just talk to her, spend some time with her.
I don't know whether, I don't even know no more whether that, is Frank on the line? Maybe Frank can answer that one. Whether that's the spiritual thing to do to keep, to keep acting like everything is everything, even though it's not. You know what I'm saying? Because you believe in by faith. I don't know. I don't know. It's her reality, it's her truth that, that she's trying to spin. So I don't know.
Exactly.
But it's sad to me. It's sad,
The tears of a clown when there's no one else around.
Yes, yes. Yes.
That's Minister Robinson right there. Leonard know Minister Robinson.
Stop it.
Leonard know him. He said he's sitting in the congregation.
Stop
Heard.
I gotta look it up.
Y'all just wrong.
Good morning, Cassandra.
Good morning.
Good morning. I let us talk to Cassandra.
Exactly. She'll be in the corner in a minute, but we gonna try to wait it out. She's gonna be in the corner in a minute. But let me go to Frank. Frank, what's on your heart?
And I tell you, man, sometimes I struggle listening to Cassandra because when she comes on the broadcast, it's like your big sister just showed up. And I just, I love her so much, man. And it's just sometimes I get lost, she's here now. And that's just the same for so many people.
Frank, let me tell you this for real quick. Let me tell you this, Frank. I was serious about that. When I said that, I was serious. I mean, I really want you to address that because for me, it's hard, seeing people that I know are suffering and they keep saying, and I'm thinking that that's what she wants. So I'm serious. I really wanted your take on that.
It's impossible to know if a person is coming from a place, to me, and this is just my perspective. If a person is coming from a place of I am going to speak this until I see this thing manifest in my life. But normally by the time that somebody's walking in that, that they're that kind of person. Now, then there's other people that just, and then here's another thing, and this is something that I'm always careful with. If I'm going through something with a friend, I have to be careful of reporting that thing that I'm going through to somebody else, because then me and that person may make up and things may get better. And then the other person will continue to remind you of what you went through. Not saying that's what you would do, but that could be her experience in the past with other people where you have moved on and y'all have pulled everything back together. And then people, especially family are really bad at that. I can't believe that you with him. Don't you remember? And they continue to remind you of what happened. So it's so many different dynamics when a person is, that there's something different. And then there's people that there's been times where I've counseled people, and I may have only been talking to the man, and he's painting this picture. But then by the time I really get to find out who the woman is, it's a totally different story. And I talk to her every day. We're always intimate. I don't know what she's talking about. Because some people will create villains because there has to be a villain in the story, and it can't be them. So the one thing that we can do for that person is keep them close, continue to love them. And the thing that I always try to do, especially, by me being married, if it was a woman that was going through that, I would try to get into that man's life. If my wife had a friend that was going to that, I would say invite him over for dinner. And then I would begin to try to form a relationship with that man and see if he's showing those signs of being that type of mentally abusive person, because that's just as bad as physically abusing somebody when you just ignore them.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's tricky.
Good deal. You know, they say if you go to the family reunion and there's a discussion with a talk, they're trying to describe the person that's always rude, disruptive, and you look around trying to find that person and you can't find that person in the room. Might be you. Might be you. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? Rico, you there?
Hey, come back to me, man. I'm gonna get ready to get on the stream in a second. I'm gonna have to get my dog straight. I just got in the house.
All right, good deal, good deal. Bishop, what's on your heart? Talk to me. And the phone lines are open, 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973. We'd love to have your input. We have a great discussion going on right now. We're actually talking about, what we're talking about is the truth true, or is it just your truth? Bishop, what's on your heart?
Well, you know, I was listening and thinking of what Cassandra was saying about, you know, a friend of hers who tries to put on a nice front about the relationship that she and her husband have, but it is not true. And last night, when I was teaching, I talked about relationships. And one of the things I said about, in order for our relationship to get to where it really needs to be, we really need to sit down and talk. And when she said that the couple don't even hardly talk, that's evidence of what I was talking about last night. The reason our relationship is in turmoil is because nobody wants to talk. But then you want to get in front of folks and carry on like, oh, he's the best man or she's the best woman. Well, in her case, he's the best man. In the whole wide world, our relationship is hunky-dory. But the reality is, it is not. So, you know, that's why I was saying earlier that people, they'll tell you what they think you want to hear. Well, if you didn't even ask the question, first of all, but on the high side, they're hiding something because they don't want to look or seem like a failure. So if you're able to go back and pull up what I was teaching last night, I think you'll find that what I was speaking on, two different factors, the beatitude and love. I came out of 1 Corinthians 13 chapter and I went over to Matthew chapter 5. Because they coincide. We got to go through stuff. And that's the same way in a relationship. But love is the greatest thing. But if there is no love,
come on,
then we got a problem. So what we face is what I said, and it goes back. The truth is the truth, regardless. You can see the truth whether they're telling it or not.
A number one.
But after all is said and done, the lie is that you want everybody to think that you are on the top of the world.
Exactly.
And that's their truth.
Good deal. Tucson, talk to me, brother.
Thought you put me out, man.
Huh?
I thought you put me out.
No, sir. No, sir. We got you. I'm still waiting on them emails to come in for what you said earlier, but go ahead, brother. We're going to give you another shot at it.
I'm going to say something else.
I know you are. I know. I have no doubt about it, brother. I have no doubt about it. Go ahead. Get yourself in trouble.
I see your eyes. You know, mask, when people wear masks, they sometimes they don't cover the eyes because they don't have to see through them. The eyes tell it all. Sometimes, unless they're a good liar, because they believe themselves. The worst thing happened to me, and I say this to me because I always hope that my children are not listening when I say this. You remember the scripture that says, I shall live and not die. The scripture says, I shall live and not die. My first wife used to quote that scripture through breast cancer. And she believed it till her last breath. Was it true? Or was it that her truth?
Donna, see, there's so many different ways I could go with that, because maybe it was the truth. Maybe it was the truth. Reason why? Because she was in a place spiritually where she knows she was connected to the Father in a way that she won't die. Now, this physical body gonna go away from time. There's gonna come a time where the physical body gonna have an expiration date. But did she really die though? I know
I say that because of what Cassandra had said.
Yeah.
We have a tendency to allow people to quote scriptures, believing that we can speak those things as though they were.
Yeah.
And we can speak things into existence. Life and death is in the power of the tongue.
Absolutely.
And sometimes we don't see the reality of what the truth really is. And I understand that there have people been married 30, 40, 50, even years. Women especially, that have been praying for their husband since day one. They saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost, and they're married to alcoholics or abusers, and they've been there, and they're living in the same house but in different parts. They don't even sleep together. She's steady praying. Now, what's true?
Exactly.
And here's another thing. There are pastors that you live in miserably at home because of the congregation or because of their leadership position. They are in a mess, and they refuse to do anything different because their lie is somebody else's truth. What I mean is everybody else sees them as a good couple, but they have no business being together because they was unequally yoked from the beginning.
And see what I'm gonna do. What I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna get in contact with Minister Robinson, and I'm gonna have you to come over there and preach and preach at this church, brother. Cause you bringing the word right now. So I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna call Minister Robinson, Minister Smokey Robinson, and I asked him, what Sunday should I buy my plane ticket, to come over there and hear you preach, brother. Hear you preach. Let me go to Cassandra. What's on your heart?
While Donna was talking, I thought about a conversation that I had with a friend of mine. She was dying from cancer, right? And she had asked a group of us, the females, her female friends, to come over, and she just wanted to talk to us. So it was, maybe 5 or 6 of us, and we were around her bed. And she said, I just wanted to bring y'all together. She said, because I wanted to share some stuff with y'all. And she said some stuff. And the one thing she said that had all of us told up is she said, I spent over 25, 26 years in a marriage that was loveless. And she said, he went out, he did his thing, he was cheating, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the whole 9 yards. She said, but I stayed faithful in that marriage, and I was miserable for over 20-something years.
Wow.
And she said, please don't. Man, when I tell you we was in there bawling like a bunch of babies, it's just, and she died a few hours later. But it was just the idea of her saying that. And I mean, tears were coming out of her eyes. She said, please, y'all, don't do that. Please. And we're not, and I'm not saying, walk away from marriage. Bishop Frank, y'all, please listen to my heart. I love marriage, man. I would love to be married right now because there's nothing more beautiful to me than marriage. But for people to have those types of experiences, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, my ministry is to people like that. It's to hurting people. So, you know, it's just, man, that thing hurt me so bad. But, and like I said, nobody loves marriage more than I do. I absolutely love marriage. And I want to be married again. I want somebody to love me and for me to be able to love them. You know?
But Cassandra, the thing about it. But the thing about it, and I know your heart, sister. But the thing about it, a person has to be married on truth, though.
Yes.
They have to be married on truth, because if they're not, they're going to live their miserable life, and they're going to become a hostage to that marriage, and everybody involved is not going to be happy. Now, we're not going to tell anybody to go out there and end your marriage or nothing like that. We don't have the right. We don't have the right to do that.
Not.
Yeah. But what we can do is tell them, make sure that you're married on truth. And even if you got off course, if you got off course a little bit, you know, you can get back on course. You can get it back together. But it's going to take some work.
Yeah.
It's going to take some work.
Yeah.
But you have to be married on truth. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Why you came to me? That's what's on my heart. Wow.
Look here, because I want you to open up for Minister Robinson. I need you to open up, man. Open up for Minister Robinson. Go ahead.
I just think, if we would just, I pick on Frank, but I always tell Frank, man, if I ever wanted to know the right thing to do, I would ask Frank. Because Frank can hold me to a standard. Because that's what I'm trying to live up to, a standard. I understand that a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
So a lot of things I don't even expect from other people. It's like a real mate, for instance. You know a woman you just want for a little while and one you want for a long time.
Yeah.
One you want for in between time, etc. Don't lie to yourself. I've heard some women, comment that I feel so stupid. Why? Why do you feel so stupid? What's to be ashamed about? You're a nice, like with Andy. I listen to Andy talk. She has an awesome heart. No reason to feel stupid about it or bad about it. Just apply some standards to it.
Yeah.
I like what Frank says. Like Frank gives deep advice. I don't care if you don't like it. Like my mom used to tell me, I don't care if you don't like it. It's what's right. Now, if you don't want to do what's right, then go the other way. But here's the best way to do it. And a lot of people can't do it that way because they don't have the discipline, or they're really not ready to let go whatever that other thing may be. But we have to realize you was in a marriage for 25, like what Cassandra said. A woman will say, I was in a marriage 25 years that didn't have no love. And whose fault is that? You should have been gone 5 years. I'll tell you what, we just threw 5 years at it, and it didn't get no better after that, you should have walked away.
But see, Leonard,
you have to do what's best for you.
Yeah, and I agree with that. But sometimes people are in a you're absolutely right.
Not anyone else.
But my thing is, sometimes people find themselves in a situation where they feel trapped, man. They feel, the walls are closed in. I'm sure Cassandra could speak on that. Sometimes a person feels trapped. Have you ever heard that, Cassandra? And feel as though the walls are closing in on them? Cassandra, wake up and go to sleep.
I'm sorry, I had it on mute. What did you just say?
I say sometimes, and Linda will say they should have been gone a long time ago. They shouldn't have waited that amount of time. After 5 years, they know whether it's going to work and they should have walked away. But sometimes a person finds themselves in a situation where they feel like as though they're trapped and they can't get away, and the walls are slowly closing in on them.
And it's from different reasons. Think about it. People stay in marriages for different reasons. Some marriages are marriages of convenience, some are financial. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of different reasons why people remain in marriages, even when they see it going south. Yes, sometimes they're believing God that things will get better, but sometimes it's children. Like I said, it's financial reasons too. The person has to assess why they're staying in the marriage. But for me, if it's not love and if it's not God, I don't get it, because every marriage, and y'all know this, if people are getting married because, oh, she's so fine, oh, he's so cute, blah, 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 and he got money, she got money. It has nothing to do with the love of God.
Yeah.
And for those marriages, the survival rate is harder. I may be wrong, but I think it's harder because it's not based on God.
Yeah, exactly. Bishop, what's on your heart? Rico, coming to you next if you're ready, sir. What's on your heart, Bishop?
Well, man, I'm gonna tell you now. Look like this conversation is going a different way, which I think it is great. I really appreciate this conversation going the way it's going as it deals with relationships. 3 principal things in a relationship is the ability to communicate and trust them. And after you learn to communicate and trust them, that's when love can come in. But if we're going on this lie, how can I trust you? I can't believe in you because you're afraid to speak up and tell the truth. You're afraid of the answer or the response to the answer that you give me. Well, I'm asking you for a reason. I wanted to have a good relationship. So now, in order for me to trust you, you have to be willing to talk to me and to communicate with me. This is one of the things I try to explain to anybody that's in a relationship that don't talk to their spouse or their significant other. You got to talk. You cannot shut everything down. You can't say, well, I don't want to talk about it when there's a problem. Let's talk. Then we can start growing with each other, towards each other. That's easy. But again, last night I was telling them, and I don't want to break anybody up, but I don't want to stay in a relationship that's toxic.
Yeah.
I don't want to stay in a relationship where there's physical and or verbal abuse. I don't want to stay in a relationship like that. I don't want anybody else to stay in a relationship like that. Donald said it best. They're unequally yoked together. Amos said, can 2 walk together except they be agreed? So here in our home, we fussing, we hardly ever talk to each other. Then apparently we're not yoked together.
Yeah.
Apparently we're not truly yoked together. We need to sit back and evaluate. And if we're gonna work together and stay together, then let's do it. But if we're not, then let's go on our own separate ways and wish the best for each other. My son, who is pastor, testified, and I didn't want him to do it, but he felt that he needed to do it, and he let the church know that his wife asked for a divorce. So he stood there and he told it. They've only been married a year and a half, and now she wants a divorce. She said that she wanted to be able to go out with her friends. She don't want to be a pastor's wife. So now he's 26 and his wife is gone and he's all alone. He asked, why didn't you tell me this before we got married? Well, I wanted to get married. Well, what she wanted was a fairy tale with.
Yeah.
Because she knows the guys that she was dealing with weren't able to provide that for her, but he was. So now he's by himself, but she never talked to him. She would go out. She said, baby, why you going out? I'm at home. Who you hanging out with? Well, I'm going out with my friends. But her friends were single.
Wow.
So now we got a problem. Now she wants to hang out with her single friends. And the crazy thing about it, when they were dating, she was always stuck up under him. Then she gets married. Now she wants to go out with the single women, but she wasn't doing it when she was single. That's why it's so important to communicate. Now his back is up against the wall, and he's trying to find where to go. That's why I tell folks, you need to talk. You need to know one another. You need to know, is this what I really want? So the truth is the truth.
Yes, sir.
And sometimes the truth hurts. But what hurts more is the lie that you're telling me, make me think you're being true.
I'm gonna tell you something. And one of the things about what you just said, and I'm gonna go to Rico. Minister Percy Sledge said, when a man loves a woman, can't keep his mind on nothing else. And so Minister Percy.
Boy, you off the chain today.
Minister Percy Sledge.
He preaching too.
Yeah.
Did you just say Minister Percy Sledge?
Yeah,
okay.
Minister Percy Sledge.
I'm not. I'm not today. I'm not when we're here.
Me neither, Rob. Me neither.
What's wrong? Y'all don't know Minister Percy Sledge? He sang that song, the gospel song when a man loves a woman. You know the song. Can't keep his mind on nothing else.
Is he preaching too?
Yeah, Minister Percy Sledge. Minister Percy Slade, Minister Percy Slade, y'all know him. When a man loves a woman, yeah, take time to know her. You know, yeah, take time. He's saying this on take time to know her. Yeah, he's saying that one there too. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
I was thinking, Bishop said some stuff earlier. I can't remember what it was, but it sort of pretty much summed up what I was trying to say. But you know, I look at what you were saying about, you know, is the truth, and you know, I think one thing is, are we willing to accept the truth?
Come on.
You know, that's one of the biggest issues. We could see the truth regardless of who's telling it or whether we know that line or not. You know, I mean, like I said, words, you know, flattery and words and all that, man, that's just, you know, sound that come out your mouth. But we might see something totally different and we know better. You know, I'm pretty sure we've all seen people get married or force friendships that were one-sided. And some of these people on the bottom end of that friendship, maybe the person that was actually being used or only called on when that person, the other friend, needed them. You know, when they were being just called on at a matter of convenience for that person, they didn't want to accept it. You know, she might have had a sister come and tell her, you know what, girl, you know, she don't never call you till she want to borrow some makeup or she want to borrow some clothes or something. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know, she cool though. She cool. She, you know, she hooked me up with her boyfriend's friend. Same thing with a man, you know what I'm saying? You might have a bunch of people that don't have nothing to do with you, but then all of a sudden they only call you on you when you convenient. Are you willing to accept the truth that you just convenient for somebody? That they really are using you? You know, and are you willing to stay in that role? You know what I'm saying? And that's just another slippery slope, man. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to truth, who's telling it, who's willing to accept it? You know, I think most of us as human beings have been flawed and wanted to force relationships because if I hadn't wanted to force relationships, I wouldn't have children right now, to be honest. But I forced some relationships. I forced some friendships, you know, and at the same time, not being a very friendly person, you know, when I say force it, I mean I allow people that pretended to be friends or just said the right things that a friend would say continue to stay around when their actions show different. You know, so sometimes we have to take accountability for being the fool or being stupid. I mean, that's one reason why I don't have a lot of friends. I don't want a lot of friends because I don't want to be led to be stupid or be betrayed. You know, like I said, I identify with what Annie said a lot of what she said earlier, because I mean, it gets to the point where you say, well, you know what, man, I want to show people how deceptive and how opportunistic I could be. I can show you how, I want to show them how I could use them and use them for my convenience. But, you know, you try to do the right thing, and the right thing is staying to yourself. Like me, I stay to myself. I pull back. You know what I'm saying? You might see me 1 minute, we all friendly and jolly and I'm laughing, but if everything start adding up and you just did something 1-2 minute times to let me know that, you know what, I don't put up this too long. They not sincere. I'm out. I'm gone, you know, and I'll get into a hole and I'll stay away from everybody for 3 months if it take that long, because, you know, that's the way that people have to deal with it sometimes when they set that standard of what they want itself. So I guess when you sometimes set standards, you have to stick to them, you know, set the standard, stick to them on who you want to have relationships with, who you want to have friendships with. But at the same time, don't force it, especially if it's attraction that's got you doing it, or say opportunity. Maybe it's financial opportunity. Maybe they can provide very well. Don't force that if they don't have integrity, if they don't have all these other qualities or standards that you have set forth that you require.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let me go to Leonard. Leonard, man, you on the road this morning, brother. You done balled out. You done balled out, minister. A couple of ministers and everything. Man, what's on your heart right now?
Well, I can't let you keep them things because they're not true. Anyway, I reminded, you know what I like, even with the Bible, and in certain responses, Jesus would say, "Verily, verily, I say unto you."
Yes.
That means you can be sure about what you're about to say, without a doubt. And it maybe not today, but tomorrow or down the road, that truth is going to be there. Now, when people talk about friendships and things like that, you're going to have to do some inventory on yourself. Because I don't have unloyal friends because I don't seek to be friends with everyone. I let people show themselves to be friendly before I consider them a friend. I watch what you do, what you say, how you treat people. I know exactly how far we're going to be able to go together. It's like my wife said, I ain't going to too much invite you to dinner. Because if it's somebody at the table that he don't like, there's going to be an issue. So we have to set a standard for ourselves.
Come on.
And not allow ourselves to get caught up in these types of things. As simple as it may seem, I bet everything on it. Abstain from all appearances of evil. I'll bet everything I have on it to be true.
Good.
There's a reason why you should abstain. There's a reason why you should tell the truth. And one thing, the reason why me and my wife have such a relationship and we're honest with one another and things, because that's how we started out. You know, it was never, well, you got to do this and I got to do that. Like the bishop just said, she wanted a divorce after a year because of the motive and the intentions. That's why it don't last. Don't look at it as a bad thing. Look at it as a great revelation. Because I'd rather you find it out a year and a half instead of 5 years later.
Exactly.
You know, people say, I've never had a bad relationship or anything like that. People say, but I thought you said you got divorced. That was like freedom all over again. So we have to be, you know, if you gonna hold on to your chain, go right ahead. If that's what you want to do. But don't blame it on everybody else.
Exactly. Good deal. Frank, what's on your heart, brother?
You know, my best friend told me something before he was my best friend. When I thought we were really good friends. He told me that friends aren't made, they're discovered. You interact with people and then you discover, man, this cat has my best interest at heart. He loves me. This is my friend. But I do want to touch on one thing. I really want to touch on prayer and speaking things into existence. Because I want to say this for the sake of the listeners, because everybody on this panel knows this. Your prayers are never, ever going to overrule God's will. I rode in the back of an ambulance with both of my parents on the way to the hospital, and they never made it home. And man, with all the tears in my eyes and choking, I prayed. But the thing that God revealed to me a little later on is that was my mercy, man. You know, your mom was suffering, and I loved her way too much to let her continue to suffer. I made your dad a promise. So I brought him home. Now he lives pain-free. He doesn't have to deal with the foolishness of this world. So, yeah, I prayed. But God's will and his love and what his plan was and their time was, my prayers wasn't going to overrule that. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to let somebody else talk. Before I got married, I was dating, and I would walk by. I was an usher, and I would walk by my wife, and the Holy Ghost would say, she was sitting in the same place every Sunday. The Holy Ghost would say, "That's your wife." And I looked, and I'd say to myself, "That ain't my wife." Because see, my wife was and still is very wholesome. She wasn't the girl with everything hanging out and loud and, you know, bringing attention to herself. And unfortunately, that's where my foolish behind was at. That's what I was attracted to. And God, it took some time, and God had to grow me up and say, son, that's not who you want having your children. And over the years, since we've been married, God has revealed to me, man, how blessed I am that I got off of what I thought was what I needed in my life. I mean, borderline a pornographic mindset. Are you on a trick? You don't want a wife. And I thank God, man, that I didn't make that mistake. Because you can mess up with the wrong person, take her to Disney World, and she's somewhere with Goofy. You know, so
did this brother say she's somewhere with Goofy?
I thank God that I heard God's voice, because not only is she a blessing, I can see the blessing in our fruit and our kids.
Yeah, that's good. Good deal. Good deal. Let me go to Bishop. Bishop, what's on your heart?
Man, that boy Frank, man, take the dinner with that shit with Goofy. Man, that's woo, that was good. That's good. I ain't never heard that like that one, boy. Woo.
No, Bishop.
Man, I'm imagining Frank holding hands with the girls. They turn out, I'm going to get her some popcorn. And turn out, what's it? Man, she walking off with Goofy. Yeah. Hello. I'm Dan. I'm going to tell you, I love CKM Media Group and these associates, these brothers and sisters that call in with their comments. One, man, I love the fact that we're able to have real conversation.
Yes.
This is what we call a real talk show. And you got different opinions, different views from the female, from the male. And man, it is so wonderful. Raheem, God has blessed us with you.
Likewise.
And these topics that come up with, my man, it just sometimes just blows me away. Now, what Raheem got going on today? And we can start talking about one thing, then we find ourselves going somewhere else.
Yeah.
But then it's what's needed. And I can really compliment everyone, Donald and Rico and Cassandra, Christy when she's here, Anna when she's here, Latoya, because everybody comes with something different. Leonard, my main man, my dude, you know, he speaks with so much passion. He is so committed. Frank comes with the very, very subtle approach, and it's right. And it's good. And this is one of the things that I love, man. I just got to say it. Yeah, I'm bishop, I'm pastor, I'm apostle, whatever you want to call, but I'm human. And I need some of these same words. Everybody looks for me or Frank, who are, you know, and Donald and, you know, everyone that wears the title minister or pastor, and they look for us to have all the answers as though, you know, we don't have feelings or we're not touched. But we are.
Wait a minute. Now, when you say touch, hold on now. When somebody say you touch, that can mean a lot of different things now. When somebody say you touched, when somebody say you touched, that can mean a lot of different things. That depend on where you're coming from. Now, when you say you touched, that can mean something now.
Well, let's say this. As the Lord said in his word, we don't have a high priest that cannot be touched with the feelings of our infirmity.
Okay. Now, Cassandra from down south, down Charleston. Now, when somebody say you touch down in Charleston, Cassandra, don't that mean something different?
It means something totally different.
Oh man!
Totally different.
Oh my goodness!
You can't use that term in Charleston. You cannot use that term in South Carolina. No.
Yeah, man. When they say they touch, that means something totally different. I'm just saying.
That's right. That's where you're from. That's right. I'm sorry. You know, I'm sorry. I'm not here with all these state lingos and whatever because
now see Rico in Alabama, right? Rico, ain't you in Alabama?
Yeah, I'm up here in North Alabama.
Now, if somebody say touch, that means something different from what Bishop was just talking about, don't it?
Well, it depends on how you use it in the sentence, what the situation
If they
is.
say what that person, they don't worry about them. They just a little touched.
Yes, sir. Oh, we ain't gonna say touch. We ain't gonna say touch. We gonna say special. If we say they're a little touch, you know what I'm saying? We might be thinking, oh man, somebody done did them wrong. We'll be thinking another way, yo. We're gonna think
Frank, you need to chime in, Frank. Y'all need to chime in, brother.
Yeah, they from up north.
That's Raheem, man. That's Raheem. That's what he did. You were going somewhere and he interrupted you. And go ahead, Bishop, man. Don't let him do that to you.
Raheem gonna put me in the corner. I'm gonna shut up. I ain't messing my
Hey, Leonard, now you've been down south for a minute now. I know where you from, brother, but you've been down south for a minute now. When somebody says somebody is touched, that means something a little different, don't it?
Oh, that's why I was laughing. Because it means just that.
Exactly.
You're a little touched.
Yeah. Yep. That's what I'm saying.
For the older folks would just say you was flipping.
Oh Lord. See, I ain't never heard that one now. You ain't see you a little slippy.
Afflicted.
Oh Lord, my
Short
Jesus.
for afflicted.
Lord, my Jesus. Lord.
Afflicted. Oh my God.
See?
I haven't heard that term in so long.
See, Rico, I don't know where we're going right now, brother. Rico, I don't know where we're going, brother. Get us back on track, Rico. Get us back on track.
You know, I came up on my special way. Used to say I used to say it was to say that their bread wasn't done. And the time I want to say they was special, I was like, man, that bread ain't done. That's why I let it ride. But I think with truth, we got to learn that we still have to discern when it comes to truth. Like Christy said earlier, you know what I'm saying? You have three different sides of the truth or stories anyway. But as far as truth goes, to me, you have people that have their personal truth, and then you have the righteous truth. The righteous truth, like I said, that's just the truth all day. It don't matter, you know what I'm saying? Past, future, present is gonna be the truth. You ain't gonna be able to deny that. You know, but we have to set standards. Like Leonard said earlier, and that's pretty much what I was trying to hit on. We have to set these standards up to what we will accept and pick our friends and people who we have our relationships from the heart instead of from the carnal flesh. Because we have so many people that we bring around us for the material things or the opportunities that they can provide. All of it is superficial. We rarely befriend or marry people based on how they make us feel in our heart righteously. And that's a totally different feeling that you get when you do find that real friend. You just like, man, you unbelievable. I can't believe that you actually did have my back. You actually did call me and tell me about something that I didn't know about. That let me know you was thinking about something that would help me. And I didn't know about this. Yeah. That's a real friend. That touch your heart when somebody do that. You know what I'm saying? But if it just look good, you know what, man, they seem like they popular. I think I want to hang with that dude because he got the women. He know all the women. I think if that's what you hang around people for, if that's what you're gonna bring your friends around for, or you're gonna get with this woman because she got that big butt and a smile. Come on. You asking for trouble. So I mean, you know, that's why I say, and it might be, I'm gonna be honest with you, the pickings might be slim. So maybe the fact that we are impatient and in a hurry to seek these norms or these titles to call marriage. You know, because everybody want to be married. Some people, they definitely want to get married because they don't want to feel like, they don't want the public to think they are quality material to be married. Everybody want to feel like they got what it takes to be somebody's significant other. And if you ain't married or you always get a divorce, your image is going to make you live in the truth or your truth, not the righteous truth.
Exactly. That's good. Donald Toussaint.
Hey, Raheem.
Yes, sir.
I got Sheed on the phone also.
Okay, good deal. Come to you in just 1 second. Donald Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother?
What are them kids that be licking the window?
What?
Stop it, Doc. Stop it.
No. We ain't no. That's a different category, brother. We ain't talking about that now. We ain't talking about that. Man, let's get back. Let's get back on truth.
Let me go back. Let's get back on track. I'm sorry.
You familiar with selected, right, Donald?
Lord, we
I'm so glad we've come around and we've developed more and we understand mental illness. But you know how we used to have some people that just wasn't right, but we ain't took it nowhere to get no professional opinion. We just something wrong with him. He afflicted. He got something wrong with him.
Lord,
he's afflicted with something.
Lord,
we
my
just
Jesus.
don't know for sure. What it takes.
I'm sorry. I got something.
But somebody gonna always have to hold his hand. You know what I'm saying?
Well, look at Leonard.
What they used to say, illiform. I used to hear that word, illiform.
All right, let's see. Yeah. See, I'm trying to hold on, Leonard. I'm trying to get the thing back on track, man. Y'all don't go out, man. Look here, I don't know where y'all going right now.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Look, let me get back to one truth, if I can. Why is it? How is it become a truth for somebody to say, God made me like that?
That's a good question. That's a real good question, because sometimes
so y'all Christians believe that. That's why.
Sometimes people could use that as a form of an escape, and it's their only way out, and it's a roundabout way of trying to justify the wrongs that they do. And if they're saying something like that, then I think, and I could be wrong, I've been wrong before, might be wrong once or twice again before I pass on. But I think that it's just an escape route. They're just using that as an escape route because they know what they're doing is wrong. Good morning, sir. How you doing? What up, though?
Good morning. I'm doing great, man. What up, though?
What's going on, man? We're asking a question, man. Is the truth true, or is it just your truth? Do sometimes people, like Minister Smokey Robinson, say the tears of a clown? Do people sometimes hide behind that smile? But when they're by themselves, man, they break down because the reality of the situation steps to the forefront when they're by themselves. But when everybody's around, they want to be that happy-go-lucky person all the time, when that's just a facade. What do you say to that, Sheed?
I don't know. When you say your truth, I reject that because of the implication there. I believe what they're implying is truth is whatever you make it. But I don't agree with that. I think truth is absolute. I think God holds the truth. As a matter of fact, Jesus is the truth. And we were talking about the other day where Jesus is the light. He also is the truth. The word of God is the truth. It's not relative. Truth is absolute. So it's not based upon what you make it. It's not based upon what you say it is. It's only based upon what God says it is. And so our responsibility is to line up with what God says, regardless of what things may look like, regardless of how we may feel. The truth is absolute. And so sometimes things can be corrupted, things can be contaminated, and it takes it away from the truth of what it originally was designed for, the original intention of it in its design, in its inception, as the Creator created it. There are people, and the whole lot of people, who have been marred by the fall of man. Because of what Adam did in the garden, we were born in sin, shaped in iniquity. So there are going to be some deformities associated with mankind as we are born in sin. but that doesn't make it the truth. If you want to know the original intent, the original design of who you are, even mankind, you have to consult the Father, the Creator, to find out what the truth is. Even if you have a proclivity towards something, even if you have a desire to do something that is perverse, that doesn't make it true. That doesn't make it the truth. That makes it perversion. It makes it something that has been corrupted. And so we have to find out what the truth is and line up with that.
Now, what's that great big old word you use, man? Perpendicular. What's that big old word you used just now?
Proclivity. I use that word proclivity to describe how all of us individually have a proclivity towards certain sins. Because we're born in sin. Listen, everybody's not going to be an alcoholic. Everybody doesn't have that proclivity towards
that big word again. There you go, y'all. There you go again. He used it again, y'all. Yeah. Okay.
That's like you're bent in a certain way. You have a lean towards something. Some people lean more towards anger. Some people lean more towards having sticky fingers. Some people lean more towards being effeminate. Everybody's not the same.
Tendencies.
Huh?
Tendencies.
Yes. So you can throw alcohol in front of my face all you want. I'm not going to be tempted by that. That's not my thing. It doesn't entice me. It's not appealing to me. But there are some things that are appealing to me, and if I'm not careful, I can be enticed by those things because I have a proclivity towards that sin. You get what I'm saying? So homosexuals, they have a proclivity towards that. Thieves, they have a proclivity towards that. People who lie, there's some people who they can't help it. They just can't tell the truth. They always telling a fib. They trying to impress people. It's something about that with them.
Good deal.
But you know, we can look at other sin and think, man, that's crazy. I would never do that. Well, that's not. You don't have a proclivity towards that. But there are some things that you would do, and it does not make you better than that person who would do something different.
Good deal. Let me go to Bishop. Bishop, what's on your heart? Do you have a proclivity?
I gotta go. So I just wanted to say this right before I walk up. Real quick, I'm leaving, but Christy is in Louisiana, and I heard something the other day that was amazing to me. She quoted one of your songs.
Okay.
What was that song? The Crooked Letter. What is that?
The Crooked Letter HEED. That's not a song. That's just a lyric in the song. That's me.
Yeah, the lyric. She quoted that lyric in that song, and I don't think she knows that is your song. That was amazing.
Okay.
Good deal.
Okay. She spelled out my name. That's an honor.
That's a shout out.
I would like to hear that.
Good deal. Good deal. Bishop, what's on your heart, brother? We got to get out of here. We got 1 whole minute. What's on your heart?
Hey, man, great show, great topic. Appreciate the views and opinions of everyone. To God be the glory, and thank God so much for using you.
Praise God. Yeah, absolutely. Leonard, Minister Leonard.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
What's going on at 3 o'clock today, sir?
If you did not get a chance to hear this show in its entirety, log on to www.bkmmediagroup.com at 3 o'clock Eastern today.
Look at Rico. Rico, you slick, brother. Rico done got off the line because you thought I was going to come to him to pray. Rico, you slick. Yeah, you slick. You're slick rascal. Yeah, I get on you in a minute. I know you're listening. I get you in a minute. But let me go to Donald. Tucson, pray us out, brother.
Come now. We say thank you. We come and we ask that you would help us to know the truth so that we can be free. Guide us, because we have our own will and our own way. We seek your face rather than within you. Bless you now. Bless us as we go through this day. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. We're about to get out of here for today. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining us, and more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and associates to be a part of your morning. Been a great broadcast. It is now 10:01. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us, because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. Now let me see, 10:01. Somebody said, hold on, somebody said a message to me. Let me see. Good deal. Okay, got you. But listen, man, I love each and every one of y'all, man, and take an opportunity, if you don't mind doing so, go out there and love somebody. You might just find some love in return. Y'all have a great day, and I look forward to tomorrow, Black Friday. Make sure you join us, and we'll be here waiting for you. If God say the same. Love you. Have a good one.